I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up. What's going on, man? I just did it's funny. I just did a video of the live chat of you guys in the live chat talking. Because you guys have no idea how much it motivates me to see people in the live chat. It's like 5:40 in the morning. People lining up in the live chat, excited for my show to start. You got that's so much fuel for the fire. Motivates me to keep going, and it also inspires me to up the ante and do even more. What's up, everybody? Thank you for waking up way too early with Garage Gym Life. Way too early with Garage Gym Life. Gonna be giving you guys a fall preview as well as some other stuff today, but the general principle of this show is we are here to have a good time. We are here to have a good time, get your weekend started off the right way. And we're going to ride with you from today from 6 o'clock Eastern, which is now, until 9 a.m. Eastern, which would be 6 a.m. for the Pacific Coast, because the goal is to greet each time zone in America as they wake up. And of course, we love having people from other parts of the world join us. My guy Matt usually joins us from the UK. We have some people who join us from down under as well. So I'm just telling you guys, this is a good time. If this is your first time checking out this show, you are in for a treat. There's a lot of fun. I encourage you to jump into the live chat. If you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, participate in the live chat. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, then you won't be able to participate in the live chat, but I still need you to drop your comments and react in the comment section to let me know what you think of the topics that we bring up. And if you are listening on Podbean, hey, you know what? You can't comment, but what you can do is give me a 5-star review. Let people know that this is a podcast that you enjoy, especially because I got some news specifically for you guys coming up later on in the show. Let me go ahead and do a rundown, let you guys know what's coming up on the show. So I already told you we're going to be doing the live, we're going to be saying good morning to everybody as we go through the show at the top of each hour. Then we're going to be doing news and other things in our first segment. 6:45 a.m. We're going to have a brand new Recliner of Rage. You guys knew I was going to be mad again, and I'm going to tell you why. I knew I'm going to tell you why I'm mad. All right. I feel like I'm justified in my rage. Then in the second hour, our first only guest of the day is going to be my guy, David Huckleby. David is stopping by. He's going to be telling us about his new strongman competition that's coming up in October. It's called the ArkanStrong Record Breakers. He's going to be talking about that, as well as he started a cat shelter. He's going to tell us about that as well. In the third hour, story time with Grandpa. I have had to put off some of this stuff because we've had guests. And so I just haven't gotten to that. It's funny because people always say, man, I don't understand how you can keep a show going for 3-4 hours. I'm like, what you just don't understand is I end up with extra material after the show at the end of every show. And so roughly once a month, I end up coming back and saying, all right, we're just going to do an episode where I just play catch up and get all this stuff taken care of. And so that is today's episode. This is all the stuff I've been wanting to tell you guys, but I couldn't tell you before because we had other stuff going on. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be telling you guys. So during story time with Grandpa, I'll be telling you guys about my trip to DC that I did last weekend, that my wife and I did last weekend. Jared, shout out to my Jared Martin. He asked me a question about my new power rack, which just arrived. So I'll tell you guys, I'll answer questions about my new power rack to the extent that I can answer it when it's still in the box. And then we're going to also give you guys a heads up about what's coming up with Garage Gym Life for the fall. All right. So if you guys, if you're still here, that means you're intrigued. At least you're intrigued. So first thing I need you to do, like I said, hit that like button for me if you are on YouTube, and hit subscribe to help me reach 50,000 subscribers. If you're watching on Facebook, what I need you to do is like the page. So like the video, then I need you to like and follow the Garage Gym Life page on Facebook. And if you are listening on Podbean, you just kind of stumble across the replay on Podbean, go ahead and follow the show, because I'm trying to hit goals everywhere that Garage Gym Life is. I want to give you the most excellent content possible. And the way that you can help me do that is by hitting like and hitting subscribe. We are very, very close to 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that's where the big push is. But I haven't forgotten about all the other places. All right. So help me out. In fact, even if you are watching on Facebook or you're listening on Podbean, go to Garage Gym Life Media on YouTube and go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me and help your boy out. All right. Now, let's go ahead and let's jump into the comment section. And I want to, the live chat, let's say what's up to everybody who's up in here. Starting at the very, very top. My guy, Carlos, said, let's go. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Yeah, my man. Hey, I'm here with you. I'm here for it. All right. Then Jared Martin, who I brought up earlier, said, Carlos, good morning to you and everyone else. Good morning, Jared. My man, Jay, who is going to be a significant part of the show today. He reached out to me with an update on his home gym. That's going to be part of news and other things. So we'll be talking about that in a minute. Says early birds. Good morning. Let's see. Carlos says good morning back. Carlos said, that's right. We're up. Sing it with me now. Way too early, man. That's, hey, that song is copywritten. All right. It's copyrighted. You know what I'm saying? Those lyrics, those are original lyrics right there. Oh, looks like congratulations are in order. Carlos said, I'm feeling awesome. I hit a new squat PR yesterday, little 415 pounds, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Like McDonald's. Hey, congratulations, man. I've seen, shout out to Carlos. Everybody go ahead. If you're on Instagram, follow at CBS True Consumer Reviews on Instagram, and you guys will be able to see Carlos's training. He's been putting in work with the squats. Typically, he's working out, as is Jared, during the show. So that's another reason why the show exists. I had a bunch of this Friday's show. There's a reason it's designed the way it is. It's a reason it's designed the way it is. This is not a normal podcast. For one thing, normal podcasts, you wouldn't do all of this like just kind of, let's call it shtick. The banter, the bang. You wouldn't do that in the beginning. That's more like what you would do on a radio show in the first hour. So the show is designed to be kind of like a morning drive radio show. So I know a lot of you guys like to get up and lift first thing in the morning. You're training, maybe you're on the treadmill, or maybe you're just making coffee, getting your stuff together, getting, taking dropping the kids off at school. The show is designed for you guys, right? And that's why it's different. So if you want to get to like, well, I just want to hear factual things. Okay, well, what you need to do is tune in starting at the second hour at 7 a.m. All right, 7 a.m. Eastern time, because that's when we start talking about like topics and stuff. All right. But with a normal podcast, you would do the other way around. You would front load all of your topical stuff, and then you'd finish with the shtick and all that kind of thing, because you want to get people see the title of the episode, and they want to hear what the episode is about. They don't want to hear random shtick first. And so that'll kind of turn them off. So it's a little bit inverted, but we'll talk about more of that later on. The point of it is, congratulations on the PR, Carlos, my guy. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Let's see. My guy Jay says 415 says, I don't know if I had that much weight on his property. Hey, Jay, everybody starts somewhere, my man. Everybody starts somewhere. Carlos said, you'll get there. You'll end up collecting it like weight, like Pokemon. That's hilarious. Let's see here. Jay said, so Jay's on the West Coast. He's up at 2 a.m. to watch my show. That's what I'm talking about. Fuel for the fire. Let's go. Let's go, man. What other show can say that they got people waking up at 2 a.m. to watch it?
Woo! Nah, that's a mic drop.
Literally. Who else? What other show can say that? All right. Your favorite influencer show can't say that. He ain't even live. He's scared to go live. I ain't scared. All right. Let's see here. Carlos says rage is always justified in here. Jared said, Carlos, it's the big squat, man. Wow, Jay, you wild, sir. See, look at this. And Carlos said he even filmed it. John says if there's no video, it didn't happen. Oh, okay. Carlos, don't you tell me that there's film out there. If there's footage, hey, you can't, like T'Challa said, delete that footage. It's too late. I'm going to go find it. Y'all know what I do. I go find the footage and I'm going to post it up here. You just give me a little bit of time. I'm going to find that footage and we're going to put it up here and we're going to look at it. All right. Oh, Carp said no coffee mug yet, but we up. Well, actually, au contraire, bonjour. Okay. Au contraire, bonjour. You telling me there's no coffee mug. All right. Let me tell you something. That's actually a topic that we're going to be addressing later on, man. Later on. But yeah, don't you tell me that junk ain't there. Let's see. Where's my junk here? I'm gonna find it right here. Boom. Okay. Yeah. I'm getting my stuff set up. Just let me give you a little bit of a sneak peek. Okay. There. I just had to pull that up. So let's share screen. What's that look like? What's that look like? Huh? What's that look like? For everybody who's listening on Podbean, I just went ahead and I'm showing you that I'm trying to give the people what they want. All right, that's enough. You don't need it. We'll get back to that later on. We're getting back to that. All right. Jared said my coffee would taste better in the perfect mug. Hey, okay. All right. You know, yeah, don't test me. Don't test me. Eric Echo says, good morning, fellas. Everybody's saying what's up to Eric. Eric has been up so early that it's almost as if he just stayed up late. Let's see. All right. So let's go ahead now. Now, the other thing is, if you guys, this is time for the first shameless plug of the day. I encourage you guys, if you have already liked and subscribed, I know I said I want you guys to like and subscribe to support the show. There's one other thing that I need you guys to do. If you are looking for ways to support the show, if you have been a subscriber and you have been enjoying our content, then I need you to go to YouTube and there is a link. There's a join button right where the subscribe button normally is. Especially if you have an iPhone, there's a join button. Click that join button and become a member. All right, let me tell you more about it. Hey, I don't want you to just watch this video. I need you to like, subscribe, and if you're already a subscriber, I want you to join our channel for 99 cents a month so you can help us improve YouTube for the home gym community. Okay, back to the video. All right, there you go. All right, that's enough. That's the first shameless plug of the day. I need you guys to become channel members. It's 99 cents. Literally, it's less than $13 a year, okay? And it helps the show become more excellent. Give me some stuff to to improve our equipment and everything else. All right. Now let's dive right into the first segment. We're right on time for news and other things. Let's go. All right, news and other things. This is where I tell you guys about the stuff that has come across my desk. All of the stuff that is, I would call it's home gym news related. It's got to be at least home gym news adjacent for me to talk about it. The important thing is that when it comes to this stuff is I don't necessarily know everything. So this is actually one of the places where you guys can influence the show as well. So what I'm trying to get you guys to do, if you know about something, sometimes, let me back up. Sometimes I find out about things because I'm signed up for an email list, right? Other times I find out about something because one of you guys reaches out to me and says, hey, did you know about this? Look, there's only 24 hours in a day. I got a staff of, let's just say, I got a full-time staff of 1. And then I got some people who help me out doing various things, right? But of the full-time staff for this brand, much less this show, is 1. So I need you guys to help me out. You find out about things, go ahead and DM them to @GarageGymLife on Instagram. Don't send me no garbage, okay? Don't send me anything weird. But I'm saying, like, if it's like a home gym related news item, go ahead and send that information to me. First item is, and if you guys are signed up for the email updates from Garage Gym Experiment, then you should have gotten this email already. But basically, Home Gym Con now has its own newsletter. And so if you are signed up for the emails from Garage Gym Experiment, you should have gotten an email notifying you of this. If you did not get that email, you need to go to the Home Gym Con website, because there is you have to sign up for the new newsletter. I don't know if that makes sense to you. All right. But you've got to sign up for the new newsletter. It may be in, I'm not sure if it's actually in, if you go to Home Gym Con on Instagram, a lot of times the link that's at Home Gym Con on Instagram has what you need. So let's see if I just, yeah, okay, yeah. So if you go to let me share my screen real fast so you guys know what I'm talking about. So this is Instagram. So okay. So if you go to Home Gym Con, the Home Gym Con link, and you click on that link in their bio, right? You see right there, there's Home Gym Con website. And okay, so if you haven't visited that, you need to start there, because that's where you go to get your tickets and things like that, and to find out more about what Home Gym Con is. But the important thing is you need to sign up for this newsletter, homegymcon.com, homegymcon.beehive.com/subscribe. So sign up for that newsletter. That is where you're going to be getting updates about what's going on with Home Gym Con. And if you are interested in attending Home Gym Con, which you should be, you need to go at least once if you're a home gym owner, just at least one time. It's like a bucket list thing, right? But if you want to know what's going on with the hotels, with all the stuff that's going on, the way you'll find out is by being part of that newsletter list. I've already signed up for it myself. And so I'm just letting you guys know you need to know that. So that's the first news item. You need to sign up for the Home Gym Con newsletter if you want to go to Home Gym Con. All right. That's number one. Second news item is I need y'all to help me solve a mystery. So you guys know that I do partnership deals. I do brand deals. Like most other people who create content on YouTube, I do brand deals, right? With various companies. Oh, pause. Not pause as in no Diddy. I mean pause as in hang on a second. Onan says, wake up, wake up, wake up. Hey, I sent you a friend request on Discord because I got something to ask you. Onan, and so go ahead and respond to the friend. Let's be friends on Discord, right? Because I need to ask you something related to the Discord. The custom barbell Discord. I have a question. All right. So go ahead, and if you would just take a second, accept that request, and then I can ask you what I needed to ask you. It's nothing like earth, it's not like well, I think it's important. It's not bad or whatever. It's not an emergency, but it is important. It's something I've been trying to get. It's been something I'm trying to accomplish, and I can't do it. So we are friends. We ain't always been friends on there. We ain't always been on friends. Don't you play with my dang. Don't try to Jedi mind trick me. Or maybe we haven't. All right, I'm going to send you, when the show's over, I'm going to send you a DM asking you the question, okay? All right, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Carp said he's also in that Discord. Dude, I actually, I like it a lot. I'm pretty much a lurker in that Discord, but I started you probably saw like my last post where I said I'm looking at the American barbell, like thinking about whether to get an American barbell, and I'm looking at the Chewy bar. I don't know if it's going to be the right bar for me. I like to touch, man. I don't know because I've never used. I don't have any doubts about the quality of their products. I just have never used any of them, and so just about every bar that I've got, I had used in some way before I ever spent money on it. I had put my hands on it, right, in some way. And that was like with my Rogue bar. I had used it somewhere else, And so I got one for myself, that kind of thing. So that I'm kind of like, but yeah, I really do like the custom barbell Discord. All right, let's go up here. Let's see here. Let's see now. Let's catch up here. Garage Gym Radio. Hey, I just gave y'all a shout out. He's like Jake said, it's a beautiful morning to own a home gym. You did, man. Yes, it is, especially in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. And let me say for a second, I can't stand the Weather Channel. Okay, the Weather Channel has no reason for existing. All right, there's no reason for existing. All it does is try to scare people around the country for the sake of ratings. Because if you think about it, they'll go somewhere. First of all, the Weather Channel is irrelevant most of the time. Nobody's watching their dang replays of clips that they steal from people's social media without giving them credit. Yeah, they do that. I've seen it. I've seen them steal stuff from home gym owners who've posted stuff, and then they'll steal the clip. They won't give any credit about who this person is or anything like that. They just play it as if they were the ones on the spot filming it, whatever. But anyway, and their endless shows about tow trucks in Canada in the snow. Who cares about that? Nobody watches that. But let there be a storm coming. Oh my God. They're out there like they're a response, like they're FBI or something. They're showing up on the scene. They got trucks, they got cameras, they've got people in the little blue jackets looking like crime scene, like the CSI crime scene people. And the reality is they're actually not at the hurricane spot, because what happens when the hurricane actually hits, they always move and they go somewhere else and say, oh yeah, well, we had to relocate due to the storm. So, okay, so once again, before the storm hit, you weren't where the storm was. The storm hits and you're not where the storm is. And now, so basically you're like everybody else, just waiting for the storm aftermath. But the thing is, they have to trick you into believing that they've got information that you can't get anywhere else, because otherwise you would just do the sensible thing and watch your local news, right? So what ends up happening with the Weather Channel is whenever they're telling you about this doom and gloom about these storms, is it scares your relatives who don't live anywhere near you, right? And so I had people, like her. I'm like 400 miles away from where the hurricane was. Actually, I'm more than that. Probably 500-600 miles away from where the hurricane hit. And at its closest point, it was 400 miles away. So all it did was rain, right? All it was doing was raining. But I had so many people, and I'm not mad at y'all. I really, truly appreciate the fact that y'all care about my safety. I'm mad at the Weather Channel, because the Weather Channel is scaring you. They're showing you the map. Oh my God, look at this map. Look at the storm center. And they got we'll change the colors of it. Look at the storm track. Whatever, man. That storm is 400 miles away. Got my dad. My dad does not need to be worrying about me, about his son. Okay. Got my dad worrying, texting me, please hunker down. I'm like, hunker down for what? It's just rain. There's a storm. There's not even any lightning. It's not even as bad as a thunderstorm. You want to know what the most, and I'm so happy, this is a blessing, but let me the most that hurricane did to me was let me go outside and cool off in the rain and do some rope stuff in the rain. And then there is a little bit of water inside my garage. Here you go. So you see, like, there's water around that came in my garage. That's going to be gone it's going to dry out and we'll be just fine. All right. So it's basically around the perimeter. Now that is annoying. And I do have somebody coming to make sure that our foundation is good. But this has been happening literally since we moved in this house in 2008. All right. And yeah, I'm like, the Weather Channel got to relax. Okay. The Weather Channel got to relax with trying to scare y'all, man. I appreciate the concern. Please don't keep on praying for me. Keep on being concerned. But ain't nobody care. The heck with the Weather Channel. Okay. Let's just tell me. Just the Weather Channel. Okay. I don't need to get mad about that. I'm saving that rage for something else. All right. So talking about the American bar, the Chewy bar. Come to Tennessee. You can put your hands on all three versions. Pause. But yeah, hey, I'm actually well, I am gonna be traveling to Nashville soon, but I'm going to see my dad, so I won't have time to swing by. But yes, I will do a trip up there to hang out with you, and then of course I want to see Rory's home gym, Carp. So yeah, we need actually that's one of the things that I'm planning on doing this fall, trying to get stuff like that together. All right. Anyway, now let's see. I got sidetracked by the dang weather. You know, the heck with the Weather Channel. Let me once again make sure y'all understand how I feel about the Weather Channel. Swear to God. All right. Anyway, then let's see here. So let me go back to what I was originally saying. So I get brand opportunities, right? But I don't always understand them. So I need y'all to help me solve this mystery. So Lillian, not sure if that's a real name or not, Lillian emailed me about this opportunity. So let me go ahead and share the screen. I want y'all to help me out, get your dang thinking caps on. All right. So business consulting at Garage Gym Life. All right. StarBuzzHub.com. First of all, I never signed up for Starbuzz Hub. I don't know what that is, but sure. Ariana, whole bunch of numbers, whatever, but she said her name is Lillian. All right. Say, hello, Garage Gym Life. This is Lillian. See, the influencer marketing specialist, where we have achieved excellent sales. We check and love your videos idea and would like to invite you to promote our product. If you agree, please reply to me or email. We will invite you to request samples on the affiliate page. We would like to offer commission rate 20%, AD budge. I'm assuming that means AD budget, advertising budget, over 500. I thought it would be great to see if you're interested in collaborating with us. Would you be open to discussing it further? If so, please leave your WhatsApp or your email. You just emailed me. Just leave your WhatsApp or email and I'll get in touch with you. Cheers. Okay. So now there's an unsubscribe button at the bottom. I have not clicked that for reasons that may or may not be apparent to you. First of all, the first thing that jumped out to me is Lillian didn't tell me what this magical opportunity actually is. Okay. I mean, explain to me what exactly is this opportunity, right? And then also, I never signed up for Starbuzz Hub, but this is primarily the reason why I have a burner email that I give people, that I put in when I go to certain websites. I put in the burner email because I want junk like this to go there. All right. So go ahead, put it in the chat, or you can throw it in the comments if you're watching on replay. Put in the comments, what's your best guess about what Lillian is trying to get me to promote? My suspicion is that Lillian is trying to get me to send send her a traveler's check in Nigeria or something like that. That's what I think's going on here. But yeah, anyway, that's what I'm talking about. Oh boy. What a time to be alive. All right. More important than whatever Lillian's got going on. There you go. Matt says, yeah, you've inherited a fortune from a Nigerian prince. They just need a $400 processing fee. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You know the deal. It's got to be that. What a time to be alive. Jared says, it sounds like a great opportunity, John. Go ahead and give your WhatsApp and any other personal details she may need. I was thinking about giving her my social security number just so, we could expedite the process, Says she works for Coach Greg and wants you to sell Turk. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh. All right, let's see here. Carlos is like, yeah. Oh, so Lillian's emailed y'all too? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Lillian, y'all, most of y'all too young to get that reference. What I just said, Lillian, you too young. If you are old enough to get what I just said when I said Lillian, tell me what that's from. If you're old enough to understand it. All right, let's see here. But of much more importance to me is the fact that our guy Jay, 619 driver himself, has found a power rack. And he sent me a video clip. Let's check it out together. Let's go.
Morning Garage Gym Life. Here we are in the Get Buffer Zone. That's right. It's your boy Jay. Just want to say what's up to my people. Getting you inspired the way I was inspired with this garage gym life. Give you a quick little tour of what's going on. Right here we got the Texas deadlift bar, Fringe Sport plates.
Very nice.
We got the calf mirror popping, just in case you want to see where you at in life.
There you go. There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Up here we got some accessories, just some bands, some storage stuff. That was supposed to be a cutout for a washer and dryer, but you know, priorities.
That's all right.
Over here, got the Pioneer belt with the V2 buckle. I have another one, just can't find it.
Fernando got it.
You know, the chill spot. That's good when you need to take a break. Right now I got a little sandbag. It's only 40 pounds in there. Throw that around, get some stress out just to get some energy debunked. Marcy plate tree.
I have one of those myself.
Ohio power bar, sitting up there pretty, sitting on CHROME.
Sitting on chrome.
Some little things, hold the plates on, wrist wraps, some gloves and stuff, you know.
You know the
I got
deal.
the adjustable dumbbells right there. The floor is slanted.
Jay, here's my first question. What brand of adjustable dumbbells are those? I forgot to ask you when we were talking. Yeah, hey, Carp, you saw the calf mirror too, right? See my man flexing the calf mirror. All right. Highly underrated. The calf mirror. That's how you know you riding around in a limo. All right. He spent some of his home gym budget on a mirror just for the calves. All right. But now, Jay, throw in the live chat. I want to know what brand of dumbbells those are. If you don't know, it's cool, but they look pretty interesting. I'm just curious. All right. Anyway, let us proceed.
So they end up rolling outside. So I gotta adjust them, adjustable dumbbells, and then right there I got the bells. The kettlebells are steel, 70-pound kettlebell. That's what it want to do when you need to do it after you did it. You guys know that I got.
Did y'all get that? It does what you want. Hold on. Let's say that again, man.
You need to do it.
Okay, yeah. Say that again, because I know I didn't. Let's say that again.
Kettlebells are steel, 70-pound kettlebell. That does what it want to do when you need to do it after you did it. You guys know that I got the Rep Black Wing in the red and black. I was trying to copy Marcus in the Twisted Barbell Dungeon.
Hey, Marcus is legit.
Just off the hook, just super clean. And then this right here, this identify as the Rep PR 5000.
Okay, I just want y'all to know that when I heard him say this identifies as, he said this, and the sticker, he's got like the little card right there. Said this identifies as the Rep PR 5000 on this rack. Because I remember when he got the rack, right? Jay messaged me and said he got this rack. We're like, all right, cool. Messaged me on Instagram. But then when I saw, I knew the rack I was aware of the rack. The fact that he said this identifies as Jay, I horse laughed. I lost control of myself. All right, let's go on.
You know what I mean? I got the multi-grip bar up there. That's the Aries 2.0. Oh, look, check it out. Garage Gym Life. So these right here, these are the new Ghost Roller J cups, because anytime a bar touches it, it roll like that. And then you can see how big they are when you hold them in your hand. I mean, monster. So those are dope. They got the lining right there so you don't scratch up your bar. Surplus strength. We got the Stealth Spotter arms right there. Those are real good because they're real compact. You know, just in case you can't get that last lift up, it'll save you. What I like about this PR 5000 is how they put the West Side hole spacing at the top, because I mean, that's where it matters most, you know. So if you're gonna do your pull-ups, chin ups, muscle ups, you gotta have the west side hole spacing up there. So with that being said, only got 5 stall mats on the ground. Good enough for a little square. But that's it, man. Just wanted to give y'all a quick update of what's going on in the Get Buffer zone. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, give you guys other updates as things impress and move along all up in here. So with that, Garage Gym Life family, peace.
Excellent work by you. Excellent work by you, Jay. I mean, that was outstanding. That made my day, okay? First of all, this identifies as... Look, I was drinking something when you said, I was watching the video the first time. And you said this identifies as, and I spit my drink out. I was laughing so hard. Of course, my wife is like, "What's wrong with you? What do you, my wife and daughter, they don't understand." Oh my God, I was, oh God, I thought that was hilarious. Now I do have a point. First of all, the chill spot, that is highly underrated. Okay, you need to have. If you don't plan to chill, you won't be able to chill when it's time to chill. Okay. And as in the words of the immortal prophets, EPMD, you got to chill. That's important information that y'all need to have right there. All right. So what I like, Jay, is that Jay planned out his relaxation. He got the chill spot because you never know when you might have to kick it. So there you go. So the chill spot is highly underrated. But you said something about those roller J cups, right? And how your J cups are rolling out every time you adjust the bar. So I did a video. I was inspired. Got off the treadmill this morning, banged out my first 1,000 steps, got off the treadmill. I said, hey, I said to myself, why don't I do a video talking about what Jay was talking about with his J cups? So here we go. So let's go ahead and let's play that real fast, because then I want to know, you may have already tried this, but this is what I thought of immediately. Check it out. You don't have roller J cups and you're inside your power rack, right? So as you're inside the rack, I'd be facing this way, right? And I go to adjust the bar on squats, right? What's going to end up happening is these J hooks are going to move out like that as I'm adjusting the bar, right? Remember, I'm facing this way. So what I normally do with that is set the rack up, the J hooks up, so that the opening of the strap that holds the J hook on is facing outward. Now, when I adjust this way and that way, like this, the weight of your body is pushing the J hook into the uprights or the posts of the power rack, and you don't have that problem anymore. All right, so I don't know if you've tried that. That is a very low-tech solution, but there you go. But yeah, shout out to Jay, man, for sending me that video. He sent it, and I was like, let's go. My man right there. Jay said that's the product of Jay said that's the product of 3 days of being off of work. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Carb says, I love the names of the dream brands. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Surplus Strength Spotter Arms. I'm telling you. So what I also like about that is he's got a plan. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could tell when it's time to upgrade, this is what he's going to get, right? And that's truthfully how I built my home gym. That's how Carp was saying. That's how he started his home gym. Most of us in the home gym, especially in the home gym content creator space, people have this idea that where our gym is now is where our gym has always been. That's not the way it goes. What ends up, if you've had a home gym for a long time, more than pre-COVID, if you had your home gym before COVID, what likely happened is you built up slowly. A lot of people who got home gyms during COVID lockdown bought everything all at once because they were refugees from the public gym. Finally, they're the same people who are laughing at us for having home gyms. And we're like, yeah, but what happens if your gym closes? My gym will never close. It's 24 hours. I got a key. I got a key card. I can put in the code. Okay. All right, sure. Even before lockdown, you could have an ice storm. Shout out to Texas. You'd have an ice storm and you can't get to the gym, right? Suddenly the world changed and they realized we were right. We knew we were right. But I was there when lockdown happened and all these public gyms shut down. I was like Rob Van Dam. I was right. But anyway, so most of us, though, prior to that, bought inexpensive stuff. Typically, we bought it used, and then we upgraded as we went along. And so I think I think that's the best way to do it. And I'm seeing more and more people return to that way of doing things. But there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I want to get that one day. So I love the fact that Jay has like the stuff that he wants to get. You know what I'm saying? I think that's great. Let's see. Jay said, Carp, mom used to always say, if you don't laugh about it, you'll cry about it. Hey, man, I do. Yeah. And he says about the J cups, I'll switch them up. Yeah, man, give it a shot. It may not work. But it's the reason why they're moving is because the weight as your body is moving is pressing the bar at an angle slightly into the J hook and is rolling it out. So that may hopefully that should fix the problem. If it doesn't, then hit me up and we'll hit me up on another episode and we'll war game it because we got a lot of people here who know. To be honest with you, so I've had a home gym for over 20 years. I know we've got people on there who've had their home gyms for 5 to 10 years, some longer than that. I'd say there's probably about 100 years of home gym experience between me and the people in the live chat right now. Okay, so we'll figure out your situation. And Carp said, oh, so there you go. Carp said, I like J cups that have a pin in the back so they stay fixed. Now, to be honest with you, I like roller J cups. Because of the ability to roll back and forth. Because once it starts to get kind of heavy, it's more difficult, especially in thinking about it, thinking of squats or even bench press. Even though I don't normally use roller J cups for bench press, but for squats, when the weight gets very heavy, that's when you're also heading for your last set. So you're at your most tired and you're trying to move this thing, shift it around. Yeah, that's energy I'd like to save for the set. So I like roller J cups for that. But yeah. Blake says, infamous words my wife hates. I only need to buy a couple more things and my gym is complete. Yeah, you need to stop lying to her, man. Relationships can't handle deception like that. You need to cut that out. Just stop it. Stop it. Carp said he also do that to give me an extra inch or two from hitting the plates or the cups on the J cups on a Y rack. Yeah, 100%. And Matt says, okay, Karen, enjoy your 24-hour Planet Fitness. I have the best gym in town. So there. Hey, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, and here's the thing. I picture you saying that since you have an English accent, I picture you saying that like in your voice, and that makes it even more legit, more legendary. Jason, I just needed something to get that power bar moving. I couldn't wait for the dream rack. Oh, yeah, man. Dude. One of my rules, I got several foundational principles, and one of them is don't apologize for your gym. It's meeting your needs. That's what matters. So it's the best gym in town, period, point blank. It may not be the best gym in town for me, but I don't live there. So it doesn't matter what's the best gym in town for me. It don't matter what I need, what I think, what I want. The rule is it's your house, it's your needs, your training. So as long as you're happy, I'm happy. Blake said, hey, the rule is if I get it in there before she notices, we've always had it. Okay. Hey, you a brave man. You a brave man. Let's see. Oh my. Matt says, because I speak like a king, I'm only 567th in line for the throne. You know what, man? If you somehow became king of England, I mean, what could I do except congratulate you? You know, I'm not a hater. If you became king of England through some confluence of events, let's call it that, hey, my man. Shout out to you. Congratulations on your new job. That's it. That's all I can say. Congratulations on your new job. That's it. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the next. Okay. So to finish that up, when I was saying the thing about the equipment, you know, you buying the equipment, and I prefer it. The other thing is I buy what suits my needs at the time, like not what's on sale. Now the side effect of that is sometimes. So like I have Elite FTS SS yoke bar. That's a safety squat bar I have. And like I told you guys, most of the stuff, the bars I have, I use somewhere else first. So I was at Steve Goggins' garage, and when Elite, he's sponsored by Elite. And when the SS yoke bar first came out, he got one of the first ones. So I was one of the first people to get to try it. I said, man, I love this bar. So I got one, right? I actually got it as a birthday gift. Shout out to my mom. And I was like, all right, so cool. I'm happy with that. Then the Kabuki Transformer bar came out. Well, I already got a safety squat bar that I like. Why would I want to switch to the Kabuki? But I knew people who were like, oh, well, I want to switch to the Kabuki because it does all these other magical things. And I'm like, what I have is doing what I needed to. It's doing what I needed to, right? So the side effect of that is sometimes people will reach out and they'll say, because of me doing this, I'm like, hey, do you know anything about this bar or this product or whatever? And sometimes I don't know because I've never used it because I don't see the new stuff that that's out there, and I don't get fear of missing out. Now, if what I have isn't doing the job, then I'm looking for a solution. Yeah, but if what I have is doing the job, in my mind, the solution is to improve me, improve my body. The secret to being better and achieving my goals is improving my body and my performance, not improving my equipment. Okay? I want y'all to just rewind that as many times as you need to until you understand what I'm trying to tell you. The secret is not how cool your equipment is. The secret isn't in the store. Yeah, the secret to your success is not in the store. It's in your heart and your effort. But at the same time, that's one of the reasons why I like Home Gym Con, because again, I get to try stuff there that I probably would never buy for myself. And then I may say hey, well, you know what? This is worth spending money on. Kind of like for cars, we have a Nissan Rogue, right? I was always a Jeep guy. I love Jeeps. And but when we would go out, we would rent cars to travel out of town. And we started it just so happened that we would get Nissan Rogue. We didn't request it. That's just what we got. And we were noticing, this is kind of nice. Well, eventually when I had that rollover car wreck in my Liberty, I needed a new ride. We got a Nissan Rogue, and my wife already had one as well. And so that's why, because I had tried it before. But I guess I'm sort of a creature of habit, man. That's just my thing. So Jay, in conclusion, you're doing the right thing. You don't have to, don't apologize for your gym. I think your gym is awesome. Can you get a link? Jared, I would be happy to get you a link to the store. So that's something, hang on a second here. So that's it right here. That's not going to help you at all, though. So let me do this. So we're having an issue with the store, and I don't know why we're having this issue, but for some strange reason, man, it's like what happened is I changed my URL, right? And the store URL isn't working. The new one isn't working. So we're going to have to, that's a behind the scenes deal that we're just working on. So, but in the meantime, this link does work. There you go. So you click that link. I just put a link in the chat for everybody watching on Facebook or on YouTube. You can click that link, and that will take you to the store, and you'll be able to go to all the products. Okay. But yeah, it's just a glitch. Carp said the SS yoke bar is a good bar. I wish they would update it to normal size barbell sleeves. I mean, you know, again, that's another thing that doesn't really bother me because I got a set of Oso machine collars specifically for that bar. And the good thing about it is because they only get used with that bar and with my knurled axle, my 45-pound knurled axle bar from Gorilla Strength, they actually last longer. And I get to use my lockjaws for all my normal barbell work. So it's a give and take. Yeah. I would just want to say I own Rogue equipment. Oh yeah, that's all I wanted. All right, enough of that. Let's go to the thing that y'all want to hear about, and then we're gonna bring my guy David Huckleby on. Are y'all ready? You sure? Let's go.
It's the recliner of rage.
It's the recliner of rage, 'cause he's not happy.
I'm not just unhappy, I'm outraged at the injustice I'm about to tell you about. All right, so today's Recliner of Rage is dedicated to the weather in Washington, D.C. last week, okay? This is not connected to my rant against the Weather Channel earlier in the program, but the heck with the Weather Channel at the same time. So I'm up there. We had I'll tell you guys about why we're up there a little bit greater detail later on, but we're up there to shoot a product unboxing video, okay? So we spent 10 hours in the car on the way up, and I was like, and then we had to do all the shoots for the day. So we had a 3-location shoot, and then it's like, all right, I got 5,000 steps that I need to get. But we're about to get back in the car because we had to be back down here because I had to be at work. So I was like, well, by the time, you know, the likelihood is that if we stop, we'll be at like a truck stop or something. I'm not going to get 5,000 steps in. So I got to get my 5,000 steps in before we get in the car, or midnight will come and go and I won't have gotten to my 10,000 step daily goal. So we got to get it in. So I said, all right, cool, no problem. The plan was to use my uncle's treadmill. I was standing, there's a video. I have video evidence. I was standing right next to his treadmill. What if I got to use it? Okay, no problem. I didn't use it. Okay, cool. So we go back to my other uncle's house. We take a nap. I wake up and we're getting ready to leave. I said, whoa, wait a minute. What I just told you? Okay, I got to get my 5,000 steps before we get in this car. All right, no problem. So I just started walking up and down the block in my uncle's neighborhood in DC, right? There's other people out there first. You know, we're all just walking. And I'm just going up and down the block. I said, this won't even take long. It'll be like 30 minutes and I'll be done. All right. Well, of course, that's when the rain started for absolutely no reason at all. It was nice and it was a nice night, not humid, not there was, you could smell rain in the air. There was no evidence of impending rain, or else I would have said the heck with it and done what I had to do at the truck stop. Okay, or whatever. But no, I was like, yeah, I should be safe. Let's go ahead and let's just start walking. I start walking. It starts raining. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you serious right now? You serious? You couldn't wait 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Come on, man. So I'm walking now. You're like, oh, what's the big deal? What's the big deal about the rain? It wouldn't be a big deal if I was at home. I would just go inside, you know, first of all, if I was at home, I would use my treadmill downstairs if it's raining. But let's say I'm at home walking outside. I come home, take a shower, change clothes. No problem. I remember the part where I said I'm about to get in the car and drive for 10 hours. You think I want to drive for 10 hours in a wet t-shirt? No, I'm not about that life. I'm about to drive 10 hours in a wet t-shirt. However, there's one factor that you need to consider. I said to myself, I am a descendant of someone who solved some sort of problem at some time for somebody at some point in history. So success is in my DNA. So I finished the walk like the hero I am. And then as soon as I get in the car, the rain stopped. As soon as I got in the car, the rain stopped. And it didn't rain the whole time we were driving. Now, I'm not telling you that I feel that there's a conspiracy, a conspiracy, but I am telling you that the rain could have just waited 30 more minutes. It only took 30 minutes for me to walk. So it rained for 30 minutes and it stopped. It didn't rain all day. It didn't rain all night, but it rained for 30 minutes, in the specific 30 minutes when I had to walk to get my 5,000 steps. I think you would be mad too. I feel like I'm completely justified in this rage, and I'm not going to stop being mad because it just ain't right. It just ain't right. Breathing out the bad energy. All right, the Recliner Rage is sponsored by our friends at Freedom Fitness Equipment. If you give them a call, 980-216-4860, Ashton, who will actually be on the program next week, will hook you up, help you set up the best gym in town, including a treadmill, so you don't have to walk in the rain when it starts for no dang reason, when you're just trying to better yourself and improve your body like you promised yourself you would do because you said that you're going to get in better shape because you got goals for yourself. But I'm okay. I'm over it now. I'm completely over it. Doesn't even bother me a bit. Doesn't even bother me at all. I'm fine with it. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. All right. I just want y'all to know that I, as a mature adult, I have decided to let all that go and not be mad. No, I'm good. I'm good. All right. It is 6:56 in the morning. Shout out to everybody in the Central Time Zone who's just now waking up, and shout out to everybody who's in the Central Time Zone who was already awake watching the show with me. Thank you for jumping in here, checking out Garage Gym Life and getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life on a Friday. This show is going to be your morning drive time companion. We're going to take you all the way to the 9 o'clock Eastern Time hour, and we are going to help you get your weekend started off the right way. If this is your first time here, do me a favor. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button and hit subscribe. Help me hit my goal of 50,000 subscribers. We're almost there. We're literally 12,000 subscribers away. Come on now. Help your boy out. Hit like, hit subscribe. Help me reach this goal because I cannot do it without your help. If you're watching on Facebook, do me a favor and go ahead and like the video and also like the Facebook page. And if you're listening on Podbean, go ahead and like the episode and then follow the show because I'm telling you, you guys, if you've never watched, you are in for a treat. And the other thing that you can do, if you guys are inclined, if you have already done everything I just said, you already liked, you already subscribed, then you probably have a home gym. And I know exactly what you need for your home gym. And that is something that my guy David, who's going to be coming up next, has. And that's a Garage Gym Life banner. Let's talk about it right now. Hey, if you're a home gym owner, you should know that nothing puts the finishing touch on your home gym like one of our high-quality laminated vinyl banners. These banners can be found in home gyms around the world where home gym owners are pushing themselves daily to achieve their fitness goals. All you have to do to add one of these premium banners to your home gym space is visit our friends at freedomfitnessequipment.com to place your order. And Ashton and the crew at Freedom Fitness will get your banner shipped securely to you anywhere in the United States. Unlike flimsy gym flags that fade over time and get tattered if they're exposed to the elements, our banners are made of heavy-duty vinyl and laminated to protect the colors from sun damage, so they'll look good for years to come. In fact, once you receive your banner and hang it up, you never have to take it down unless you want to clean it, which is easy to do with soap and water. Then you can just hang it back up to proudly display your membership in the worldwide Garage Gym Life family. So visit freedomfitnessequipment.com to get your banner today. And don't forget to post a pic and tag at Garage Gym Life on Instagram when you hang up your banner so we can shout you out and say thank you for your support. I definitely will. I shouted out Jay when he got his banner. I'm going to shout out each and every one of you guys. And I'm telling you, it means more than you guys know. All right, David, are you ready? All right. David says he's ready. So let's everybody show your love for our first guest of the day, my man, the legend himself, David. Look at that. Behold. David!
What's up, John?
I know it's way too early, but I don't care. I'm loud. What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I got a little something to say to you right now.
Okay.
I'm disappointed.
Why?
I'm disappointed in you.
Why,
my brother?
Why? What about?
You know, as United States Marine, if it ain't raining,
and we ain't
training.
Okay, I understand.
Improvise, adapt. Murphy's Law.
I finished the walk. I did it. I got my steps in. I'm just pointing out. So you're saying it's my fault. I'm just pointing out that it didn't rain except for when I was out there. That's what made me mad. I was like, okay, so think about this. You know how like you go to the rifle range and it was nice sunny day until you get out there and there's no lightning, so they don't make you leave the range, but it's just enough drizzle for you to have to sit out there and deal with this garbage, and then you gotta write everything down in your data book and yeah, okay, that energy right there is what I had.
And that's your fault. 100% your fault.
Oh, of course,
because you're a Marine. Murphy's Law.
I accept that. I accept it.
Hey, but I'm glad you worked through it, though.
But we are a grumpy bunch, and that's why we're successful.
That's right.
All right.
Absolutely.
So, man, I appreciate you getting up early with me, my man. When we met, man, it's been a minute. When we met, our youngest, well, he's not my youngest anymore. My youngest son and your daughter were like, what, 12?
Yeah, 12.
11 to something like that. We've known each other for a minute. And we were training in our coach's garage gym. And you had some equipment. You were letting a local CrossFit box use some of your home gym, your strongman equipment.
Right.
Then you got tired of Metro Atlanta and you moved to Arkansas. And so now you have this awesome home gym. It's huge behind your house in your 5-acre backyard. All right. I was like, oh, that's his backyard. Okay, yeah, that's nice. That's not a football field. That's where he lives. Okay. And if anybody wants to check out the tour of David's gym, I've put the link in the chat because that Outback Gym is amazing. He's got the shirt on right there. The OG thing you gave me is right here in the office, right on the other side of the. You can't see it on camera, but it's right there. Here in my office, it's prized possession. But anyway, as cool as your gym is, though, with all the equipment and everything else, the thing that I like most about it is from day one, it's been about giving back.
Right.
You train people there, and you don't charge them.
Nope, never charge.
You were hosting competitions there. You hosted a Static Monsters and some other things to introduce the local lifters to compete. Hey, this is what a competition is like. This is what competitive strength sports is like. And then you're like, you know what? We're not doing enough. Let's start a cat rescue. And the gym helps to raise money for the cat rescue. So the first thing I want to know is, was all of this in your mind when you guys moved to Arkansas? Like, was that part of why you wanted to move to Arkansas, to give you the opportunity to do more?
I think the biggest factor, excuse me, sorry, it's still early here. The biggest factor for us to move here was freedom. Atlanta is a very tight space. It's finding your own gym and having your own place to train is very expensive. Just city life in general is more expensive. So we decided to find a place that is literally in the middle of nowhere here in Melbourne, Arkansas. We're between Melbourne, Arkansas and Sydney, Arkansas. So Outback Gym just made sense because, hey, it's kind of Australia, the Outback, and we are out back in the middle of nowhere. Our gym is out back at the, end of our property, the back of the house. But we really didn't understand the issue with the feral population of cats here until we moved here and drove through the country, and we would see hordes of cats, feral communities, 30, 40, 50 cats. And, they were diseased, they were sick. And, my wife, being the compassionate person she is, she wanted to do something. So we did something. And we started off to do trap, neuter, and return. So that's wherever they're living at. We go, we trap them, we get them spayed or neutered, we return them so they can have a happy and healthy life and they don't reproduce anymore. And we do use our strongman gym to try to raise money through. We do our October show this year's ArkanStrong Record Breakers, so we can break national records. It's good. It's good for a novice. It's good for the advanced lifter and everybody in between. And the proceeds from that are going to go to help us spay and neuter more cats. This year, our goal was to we started our 501c3 this year, and our goal was to spay and neuter 20 cats. Well, it really didn't go like we wanted to, and we ended up with 115 so far this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So we work closely with one of the vets here.
Okay.
And we work with one of the local animal shelters. We can sometimes get some coupons to help us out, but mostly we've been self-funded for our first year because you can't really get a grant until you've been around for a while and you prove what you can do. And we've proven that.
Yeah, because they want to see how you manage the funds and everything. They're like,
right.
You give people money, sometimes it's a burden because they mismanage, right. They get themselves in trouble. So yeah.
But we kind of came up with what we thought was a unique model for Outback Kitty Haven, and I'll get back to Outback Gym in a minute.
No,
but we decided to work with the community. So there's a place here. It's a service station. It's called Red Mule. It's shut down. There's about 35 feral cats behind it. There's a guy named Brian, loves America, loves that I'm a Marine, and he lives across from where the cats are. So he's been feeding them every day. So we went to Brian. We talked to him. Said, Brian, would you be willing to help us out? Take these cats to the vet, get them spayed and neutered, and we'll pay for it 100%. No questions asked. I mean, he thought we were a living deity at that point. And we've done that throughout the community, 5 or 6 places. And, we've done, like the biggest restaurant we have here is Sonic. So when I go through Sonic, now they know me because they know when they call me to come get a cat, I'm the guy. So they pretty much got me on speed dial to come help them out.
All right. So, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned the thing about the huge feral cat population, because somebody like me who's like, I live in the Atlanta area. I mean, where I live is rural enough, but where you live, I mean, you're at the base. What's the Ozarks?
Yeah, basically Ozarks.
It's the woods, and cats are like the most versatile predator, right?
They really are.
Like, look what happened to Australia when the cats got off the ship. When the first colonists got there from England, they get there and the cats got off the ship and they slaughtered a lot of the local population, right? Because they adapted. So because I know that, the other side of me is like, well, what's the big deal about these cats getting out into the woods? I mean, they'll just adapt. Is the problem that they're going to kill a lot of the normal let's go with indigenous species and take their place, So now you have a gap in the ecosystem. Is that what the problem is?
It is. And disease.
Right, because they're not afraid of people.
Well, they're skittish when they see you, but they're not afraid to come up to your house and get out of your house and live there. Yeah. And reproduce. And kind of the way we got into this is we had a mama cat. She came and moved in our porch. She didn't ask. She just, hey, I'm moving in. So she had 3 babies, and we helped raise them. We loved them. And, we made sure that we were getting them spayed and neutered. And then from time to time, we have other cats come up, and we decided, let's do something. Let's make a difference. It may not be a big difference. I mean, just like the gym, right? We don't charge. We never charge. It doesn't matter what you want to do. If you come in and you tell me and you say, Huck, I want to train, I want to learn how to do this. First thing I say is, if you invest in yourself, I will completely invest in you. And that's just because that's like the thing to do. I have all this great equipment, Why would I not share this with people? Why would I charge them for something that I have, that I've learned innately through all these years, working with, our coaches before and everyone that we've trained with. I can give back to the community in a way that no one else can here.
Yeah, because here's the thing. So you and I don't normally, and I know you don't either. All right. And the problem is, like, when you don't do like the brag thing, people assume that you don't have anything to talk about. You know what I mean? Mm. But I can say, like, you and I have been in the room listening to and being trained by some of the strongest strength athletes in the game, in strongman and powerlifting
history. Yeah.
Like legitimately, like we've stood like right next to them, listened to them talk. We've run the monolift for them. So
they run the monolift for us.
That information's there. Yeah. And they've run the monolift, so we've got coaching from them. People who like people like, were you there the night that Perry was like doing triples with 800 and we were just running a Perry Ellis?
And it was like 4 hours of Perry Ellis running triples with 800.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So when I go up there now, it's like my turn to squat. And, okay, I'm going to go. At the time, I think I was squatting like 450 or something like that. No, it was 418. I did 418 for a triple that night. Well, I just watched Perry squat 800. Well, 418, even though I know I'm not him, it suddenly doesn't seem intimidating anymore. Because like, oh, right. I just saw how he did it. So that information kind of gets infused into your system. Now you know it. How can you be around that much strength and not learn something, right? And so when you're like, hey, I'm going to pass on what I know, it actually has a value to the people, but sometimes they don't even realize it. They're like, oh, well, he's giving it away for free. Oh, well, because, well, what does he know? I benched 405 in high school. Like, yeah, you might need to relax. So I really like the fact that you're taking what was given to you, passed on to you, and you're turning around and handing it back over. That's why I said you're giving back. And right. I see the benefit because I was there watching your athletes hit PRs, watching them hit PRs like, bam, PR in competition, which is where it matters the most. If right. you are a competitive strength athlete, your PRs matter the most on the platform, and I'm watching your people do it. We do have a question. So Jay wants to know about the cat thing. He's saying, like, so the situation with the feral cats is essentially like what you have with feral hogs, except obviously you don't hunt cats.
Some people just straight out shoot them. Cats are a 4th or 5th class citizen here. Yeah. If it's a dog or a horse or a cow, people really care about those. People don't care about the cats. And when you come across a population where someone has, eradicated them, by shooting them, it's a sad sight. I mean, it hurts your heart. I may be a big guy, I'm a Marine, whatever, but I still have a heart and I care.
Right.
And yeah, man, it's kind of funny.
I'm talking about the impact on the environment. Like the feral hogs, they'll come in and tear up people's farms, and so that's why people kill them. Well, with cats, it's like, yeah, they have an environmental impact because they're not wild, they're not tame, they're feral.
Well, some of them are kind of tame. There's a big difference between feral, domesticated, and then you've got some kind of in between stuff. If you go to a house and you rattle the can and they come up and eat, those aren't feral cats. A feral cat is going to stay hidden and you don't know they're there until you're gone. But man, I tell you, it's crazy to be driving down the road and see 30, 40 hogs run across the road in front of you.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah. And actually, is there a lot of hog hunting out there? I would assume so. There's hunting in general, I know, but
honestly, this is the Razorback state, and there are hogs here, but there's more up in Michigan.
I just say that because you got if somebody wants to go out your way to go hunting, you do have, accommodations for people. I don't know if you, I'm trying to drum up some, Airbnb money for you.
Well, so yeah, we also run an Airbnb here, and with our Airbnb, you can come to the gym and train for free. So if you want a lifting vacation, then we're very reasonable in our pricing. We don't try to gouge anyone, but also if you want to hunt, this is a great place to hunt. We have a lot of deer, we have bear, um, which is surprising. We have bobcats, and recently we've discovered quite a few mountain lions here. They Department of Natural Resources said, "Oh, there's no mountain lions here." My neighbor happens to be the chief deputy, and he's seen quite a few. They actually get hit by cars as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So watch your back if you're out here.
And I'm trying to get people to come out to your competition. You're not helping right now. They're gonna get attacked they're gonna get attacked by the wrong kind of cougar. So let's see.
Yeah.
Jay says we're cat parents, don't shoot them.
Right.
Jared said proud cat owner right here, the only pet we have. And Jay said his cats are spoiled. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that none of your cats have jumped up, because they normally try to get involved whenever you and I do any kind of video call, man.
All right. I'm in my Airbnb right now.
Oh, there you go.
Because they would be all over me.
Heck yeah.
We've got personally, we've got 23 cats, and we're adopting out probably about 15 or 16 right now.
Nice.
That we're fostering.
Okay. So let's talk about this competition. Well, I mentioned that you were, we were talking about you coaching and mentoring lifters, but you're just in general very active in growing the sport of strongman in Arkansas. First, you did Static Monsters, and which was, through Static Monsters and the USS. And now you've moved on from Static Monsters this year, and you're going to do the ArkanStrong Record Breakers, which is a USS sanctioned show. So talk about the show itself. I know we've touched on it a little bit, and you've got the Iron Podium link. I'll go ahead. In fact, I'll pull that Iron Podium link up while you're talking. But just go ahead and just talk about the show. And if anybody, I know we have some strongman competitors in the chat right now. So if anyone has questions specifically about the show or about the organization of it and how you're putting it together, because you're gonna have Willie Wessels there that day too.
Yes.
Go ahead and like I said, just go ahead and unpack the show for us.
So starting with that, I believe we're going to have 3 competitors over 60 years old. So kind of unheard of. And again, we are in the middle of nowhere. I mean, really the middle of nowhere. But what we decided to do was move away from Static Monsters. We didn't have a lot of synergy with them. They didn't have synergy with us. So we decided to do something for the athletes. So we're going to have log, we're going to have axle, and then we're going to have an 18-inch deadlift with the power bar. So here's the kicker of the whole thing. I'm charging $35 for this show. Most $75 to $100. I'm not looking to try to make money off this. I'm not looking to break even. I'm doing this for the athletes. I've got a handful of athletes that are going to go for national records. One of my athletes that trains with me, Crystal Hayes, she's going to break the Masters deadlift. I mean, she is. Yes, she's going to put it out of reach. We've got a young man named Christian Case. He's chasing.
That's a strong dude.
He is, and he's a good dude too. I mean, that's the thing.
Also true.
Yeah, I went up and helped him out up at OSG, the qualifier that they have up there, and probably gonna end up going to OSG and handling him there too. But he's a real good guy. But with our show, we've got really 3 events, and you can either do the log or the axle, and then we have the 18-inch deadlift, and then we have a mystery event, which is going to be a vehicle pull. I'm not telling everybody what it is, but it's a mystery event. And what I'm going to do is every foot you make it with the vehicle, I'll pay you $1.
There you go.
Every foot you make it 40, you're going to get $40 in your pocket. And at the end, I'm going to be in a dunk tank. So I'm going to be talking smack, talking trash, telling them how awful they are. You. And then they're going to get an opportunity to dunk me in the dunk tank. And now reminded, this is the end of October. So it's going to be a little chilly.
It'll be brisk.
It will be brisk. And hopefully it won't be like last year where we had a monsoon that day.
Yeah.
But I'm making arrangements for a backup place right now. And if we do, the mystery event's going to change a little bit. It'll have to, but we're still going to try to make it a pull if we can. But for $35, you can't beat it. And also, if you want to compete and you can't afford it, let me know. I'll comp you. You can come for free. Worry about your food, worry about your gas. We're going to have bounce houses out there. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have a snow cone truck. You know, this is not about me. It's about the athletes in this community. When, you know, you hear the word underserved a lot, and a lot of times it has to do with either like a food desert where you can't get, you know, good vegetables, has to do with financial systems and other thing. Well, Arkansas was underserved for strongman. They had one a year. So you know what I did, John? I went back, old school thinking, and I said, I could apply BAMSIS to this.
There you go.
I can
Begin
apply
the
some
plan,
BAMSIS.
arrange reconnaissance, make a reconnaissance, complete the plan, OSHA order, supervise.
And supervise. So what I did is I ingrained myself into the culture here, made friends with people, got to the point to where I was appointed co-state chair. And at that point, I formed a steering committee of the interested athletes. And I asked them, how can we grow the sport? What can we do? How can I support you? So now, January 25th, up in Rogers, Arkansas, we have our second strongman show. That, you know, it's going to be next year, but we're going to have at least 3 next year. And we may even have a surprise announcement here coming up soon for December. So what I'm doing is I'm tasking these other great individuals here who want to grow the sport with helping. So if I can mentor, supply gear, you know, implements, whatever they need, I'll show up and sell. You know, I'll sell Twinkies if they want me to sell Twinkies. I'm all in on this. I just want to build this sport. I love United States Strongman. I love Willie Wessels. I love what we're doing. And any way that I can give back and it doesn't detract from our overall mission, that's what I want to do. But, you know, I take the BAMSIS approach on many things because it's tried and it's proven to work.
It works. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, we talked about Willie Wessels. I said he's going to be on site for the competition, and
he's lifting.
He's lifting. Oh,
he's lifting.
We are obviously we're live streaming it. So those of you who are watching this who can't get out to Melbourne to actually watch in person, first of all, if you can, I encourage you. There are hotels. In fact, let me. You guys said so that there's Den Mills Cedar Lodge is the preferred hotel. But then there's Ashley House Inn. That's another local business. And then you have multiple Airbnbs in the area. And there are also hotels you mentioned in Batesville, Arkansas. This is all on the Iron Podium page. So you do have the ability to get a hotel. So if you can get there, I highly encourage you to just go there and actually watch it. Like I said, we'll be there in person. We may do like what we did last time where we had like some of our Garage and Life banners there and we sell them and then we split the profits so that half the profits go to the charity. I'm trying to work out the logistics of that now. But basically, like I said, we'll definitely be there on site. But if you can't get there, we're going to be live streaming it. That being said, the reason why I brought up the fact that Willie Wessels is going to be there is because you know that this is going to be a quality event because he's not going to just show up to somewhere if he doesn't have faith in it. He definitely wouldn't compete in something. You know, he's got other places he could be. Yeah. Right? If he didn't think that it was going to be a quality event. And I mean, I've been to the Central Georgia Strongest Man when he was there and all that. So I've seen him actually in like running an event and I've seen him actually on site and all that. So I know what kind of dude he is. So Blake said, yeah, Blake, I got you. I'll definitely bring one. Just hit me up at some point while I'm there and we got you, man. I appreciate the support, dude.
That Blake Bullard?
Yeah.
Hey, Blake.
So that being said, you said it's an opportunity to set and break national records in the USS. Crystal's going to be, she's going to smash that Masters record for strongman. What I want to know is more for the novice, because this is also be very intimidating. If you never competed before, you're like, okay, well, there's going to be national records smashed. Maybe I don't need to do this competition. When I would say no, because you've got, it's the axle clean and press or a log clean and press. So you've got a choice, whichever one works best for you, and then and that you're able to train with, and then the 18-inch deadlift. So if you let's say you've done a sport like powerlifting before and you want to try a strongman, this is a good show for that. If you just lifted in high school, you played football, you just lifted in high school, and you want to try strongman, this is a good show for that. But talk about how, because I've seen you do it, so I want you to talk about what you guys do when somebody shows up and you could tell that this is their first time competing. Talk about the experience for somebody when it's their first time competing at one of your shows.
I've got a really good example to use. A young man named Frank Wells. Frank's in his 60s.
He's younger than somebody, I'm about to say.
Frank's in his 60s. He'd never done axle, never done log, never done 18-inch deadlift. And last year we had super yoke last year. Yeah. So Frank had never touched any of these implements. So he shows up the day before to sign up. So I take my time and I teach him how to do these implements. Frank's a rock star. We treat everybody like a rock star. If you're going to clean and press 110 pounds, I'm going to give you, and everyone else is going to give you the same energy as if you clean and press 400 pounds, right? It's going to be the same energy. We're going to support you. We're going to love you. We're going to give you tips. If I see that you're doing something that I can help you improve on, I will do my best to help you, and other people there as well. I mean, we've got some people like Blake that are coming, John Simmons, John Thames, some people who are really strong.
Out to John Simmons, that's a strong dude. Yeah. He's a cool dude also.
I mean, he yoked almost 1,100 pounds last year.
Yeah, his little girl is awesome. We got the video on the channel where his little girl is cheering him on and he's lifting up. Yeah.
And that's what we're a family-friendly environment. I'm on the fence whether I'm going to feed the athletes again or not. We've got a guy who's a local guy, retired Navy. So, I try to keep it in the family, keep it local. He owns a food truck called the Chuck Wagon, and he smokes brisket, pork, chicken quarters, and he's going to do some turkey breast, and also going to, do some clean vegetables and things like that. So people who are on a diet that's, whatever they're eating to meet their goals, we're going to try to make sure that they have food. Our first year, we did pizza and chicken wings. And, we had some people come up and like, I just don't eat this stuff. Where can I get some food? And I'm like, hey, welcome to the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So we're learning as we go.
Right. And
as we learn, we're going to get even better at giving back. And we have a room there at the Dead Mill Cedar Lodge that we rent by the month, and we keep cats there. So that's our adoption center. Okay. So we're going to have, some cats available. People want to pet a cat or two, but it's all about just giving back. This community is deserving of a strong presence. And I may not be the right presence, moving forward, but I think I'm the right guy right now to get things organized and get us into a better spot.
Okay. So we've got, once again, I'm encouraging you guys, if you have not done it, go and like the Outback Kitty Haven page on Facebook. Just go ahead, just help them out, because that's going to build awareness. The bigger their page is, the more likely it is that people will just stumble across the page and maybe be willing to donate. Another thing is, you sent me, I need to go ahead and I'll post it in here in a second, but I'm going to post that PayPal link you sent me last night. I'm going to go ahead and post that as well. So one of the people that I saw in here is my guy, Kurt. So Kurt was on last week, and he is actually putting together a USS competition for Home Gym Con next year. So, Yeah. So what I think the thing that I like about him, he reminds me of you in that he's trying to give back to the athletes, and I think that's one of the things that people really like about USS and the atmosphere that Willie is putting together. Is like you tend to see a lot of guys putting together shows simply because they want athletes to have a good experience. You know,
Right.
the reality is these aren't most of the people you see in USS. They're very strong. They're very strong. They're great athletes, but they're not going to be on World's Strongest Man. You know, they're not going to be, which, for various reasons, they're not going to be on, OSG. They're not going to be doing that. You know, they're not going to be on TV, but they still want to have a good experience. They're actually, I would say, the backbone of the sport of strongman, because the people who end up on TV, the people who end up becoming like Brian Shaw, for example, those people came from shows like what you're about to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? They came from somewhere. You know, it's kind of like Patrick Mahomes wouldn't be Patrick Mahomes today if somebody hadn't introduced him to football when he was a little kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so while these are adults we're talking about, for the most part, these are adults for the most part we're talking about, it's the same principle. If you want the sport to grow, if you want to have the future stars even know what this is, you have to create an environment where they want to come and participate in it. Does that make sense? Like what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's got to be fun. It's got to be engaging. That's why this year I decided to hire a DJ.
Yeah.
You know, he's a pretty good guy. He's given back because we're a nonprofit. But I think there was a song once, the children are our future, teach them well and let them lead the way. You know, we had a young lady last year, which is Crystal's daughter, Natalie. She's 14 or 15 at the time. You know, she came in and she gave it her all. And then she had to go to band camp for the rest of the day. So she came in and competed, and then she had something else to do. But,
awesome.
if Kurt needs any help or, anything I can do to help out Kurt with, the home Gen Con show, I'm glad to do so.
Kurt,
I am.
I've got phone numbers. I can connect you guys if you want to make this happen.
Yeah. And hey, we're getting some wooden logs. They're not Slater. And Blake Bullard turned me on to someone who makes things. They're up in Illinois. I think it's called Strongman Toys. So we're getting 3 wooden logs for our competition.
Oh, okay.
We've got some pretty cool awards. Trying to think what else, but yeah, probably some money giveaways and some other stuff. You know, like I said, on that mystery event, if you can make it, the full 40 feet, it's only gonna be 40. I'm gonna put $40 in your hands.
Is it called Endless Toys, I guess?
Endless Toys, yes.
Okay.
That's right. Thanks, Blake. Even so, it's going to be a heavy implement, and if the women can't make it, if there might be a woman behind pushing a little bit, helping someone out, one of their friends, I'm not going to shy away from that because we don't have that many women competing, and they're possibly all going to qualify for nationals. But it's a heavy implement, and I want everybody to do well and to encourage them. Want to incentivize them.
All right, so Kurt, I can tell you that David's personal Instagram is credible_Huck. What's the one for the gym? Which do you want him to hit you up on that one? I mean,
Credible Huck.
Credible Huck. Okay. All right. So it's credible. In fact, I'll post that here in the chat, Kurt, so you can get it. Or actually, you know what, Kurt? I'll just text you. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna post it in the chat so everybody can see it and follow you. And then Kurt can DM you. All right.
Right.
Yeah. So I think you guys, there's some definite synergy. So I want to go back to the Static Monsters thing because obviously people have heard of Static Monsters. They've not heard of ArkanStrong Record Breakers because this is the first year. So for the sake of people who understand what Static Monsters is, talk about just what some procedural differences are about your show versus Static Monsters. I mean, like, okay, so for example, Static Monsters does not have an 18-inch deadlift. because they are on the metric system in Australia. So it's not actually an 18-inch deadlift. You guys are actually doing an 18-inch deadlift. So that's what I'm talking about. Things like that, so that people understand, okay, it's like, but it's different. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you told me that I had to keep it clean.
Yes, I did.
You know, family friendly. So
do the best.
well, this is going to be difficult for me. It's going to be difficult, but
I'm not talking about drama. I legitimately,
I know.
for the sake of like somebody coming is like, okay, well, what can I expect? That's what I mean.
I'm just joking about that because it's funny. I'd love to tell the story sometime, not today, but there's a really good story here that you would like, but I'll tell you that privately. Well, I'm gonna say this and probably piss a lot of people off because I'm just gonna go with the truth. A lot of the static monsters here in the US, they do an 18-inch deadlift. I mean, they do. They're not supposed to. It's like 16.72 inches. And it's an axle. So we're using a power bar. I just got 2 new Texas power bars. Shout out to Texas Power Bar. Delivered last week. And we're going to be using the Texas power bars for that because they're stiff and they're a little more difficult. And this is a national record. You know, if you're going for a national record, it shouldn't be a gimme. You know, now, of course, the axles are stiffer, but I prefer to deadlift on an axle compared to any of the other bars, personally speaking. But it's going to be pretty much the same as, you know, the static monsters, except we're not going to have like 2 weight classes, right? We're only going to have 2 different separate weight classes that are mutually exclusive. It's only going to be USS weight classes. And, you know, we've got a little surprise or two to throw at the athletes that we didn't do last year that we're going to do this year. But we're going to take the weight. We're going to go out and do some more testing next week. But the weight, I want to use the bumper plates and 25s, metal 25s for the log and the axle clean and press. So I want to get away from using mats because a lot of people don't like to clean from mats. But if you want to clean from the mat, I'll put the mat down for you. You know, and it's entirely up to you. We're pretty easygoing when it comes to that kind of stuff. And then trying to think. I mean, procedurally, that's just about it. The different weight classes and an 18-inch deadlift with a power bar. Pretty much everything else is going to be the same.
So there, and then as far as so you guys are using like Wessel's rule and so right now where this is like some of the nerd stuff. So if you're watching this, your home gym owner, you're like, I don't compete in strongman or whatever. Just hang on a second. We're coming back to like the stuff that'll be interesting to you. Right now, I'm talking about like the part where it's like if you're a home gym owner and you want to compete, and I literally encourage people to compete because if you've never done it, you don't understand how much going to even one competition is going to jumpstart your training. There's nothing like having a concrete goal to motivate you to keep on going. And consistency is the biggest thing in terms of making progress. Then once you go to that first show, the bug sometimes bites you. You're like, oh, I got to do it again. You learn stuff at the show. After you've done, I would say maybe your 3rd or 4th competition, you start realizing you're now at the point where you're actually learning every time you go to a competition, right? Because the first one, you're kind of just like, what's happening to be here? All right. And your brain's fried. I highly encourage you to have a handler that day, by the way. Don't try to go to your first competition by yourself. You're going to go crazy. And then you're trying to kind of settle in. But then it becomes a thing after you've competed a few times, it starts to become a thing that kind of governs your training throughout the year, and you end up being strong. There's a reason why people who compete tend to be stronger than people who don't compete. It's not that only strong people compete, is that you start competing, you start getting strong. So I'll just put that there. All right. And it's also you're competing against yourself, trying to be better than you were the last time. But I'll just throw that out there. But in the meantime, let's circle back around. Let's talk about rules. So you guys are using Wessel's rule.
Right.
So talk about that a little bit for the sake of people who are going to be in the show who don't know what Wessel's rule is.
So you get 1 minute to complete your lift. So let's say that you're going for your deadlift and, you know, you're on your first attempt deadlift and you can't you can't quite get it on your first time. In the juxtaposition with powerlifting, you get one attempt and that's it. With Wessels rule, you get 1 minute to make the lift. And if you don't make the lift, you're done. So that's going to be for the axle, the log, and the deadlift. So that's the biggest difference is with Wessels rule, you get 1 minute to do it. And if you can't complete the lift, then you don't go on to your second or third lift. So this is kind of structured like a powerlifting meet where you're going to get 3 attempts at your max. But again, you're going to get a minute to make that attempt. So you can step back, talk to your coach, take a hit of the nose torque, get some people like to get slapped around a little bit. Me, I'd catch a charge. And you get that, second, third, fourth attempt if you can get it. And that's what's important is it's not about technically being perfect. And, I used to say something that, some people might find a little offensive. So I changed it up. So strongman is like by any means necessary. Like whatever it takes to get that lift, you do it. If you need to hit, you need to cheat. As long as it's not in the rule book, you can use it. Yeah. So for example, if I say, for deadlift, for example, if I don't say you can't use hooks, then you can use hooks. Now that won't count as a national record, but you could absolutely use hooks. But I think I specified no hooks on this one because it's a national record. If I don't say no tacky, you could use tacky. Why would you use tacky on a deadlift? Oh, people are crazy. We don't know. We do all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, I've even gone as far as when I was doing stones to glue my shirt to myself with spray adhesive because it wasn't in the rules and I could do it.
Shout out to your missing chest hairs.
Yeah. Yeah. The bad thing is they grew back and they came back a little lighter color than they used to. Kind of like the old beard.
You give your chest a Brazilian. That's hilarious. All right.
Yeah. But the difference is, powerlifting is very regimented.
Yes.
Strongman is not as regimented. And the moment that it becomes so regimented, I'm not going to want to really do shows that are so strict that you have to, do a perfect lift and it has to look beautiful. And, if you're, they say if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Yeah. But it's not really about cheating. It's just about, taking a look at the rules.
It's not cheating if it's not against the rules.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's like, I was like, what are you talking about? So here's the thing. And I've got Huck's information on screen. So if you're listening to the audio version on Podbean, I've got the link in the show notes. But if you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, that is Huck's Instagram going across the bottom. And I've also got it in the I'm going to go ahead and post it in the video description as well, so you guys can see it. If you're watching live, obviously you can just click on it and go there. But everybody go follow @credible_Huck on Instagram. All right. So the thing is, the thing about powerlifting is it started after Olympic lifting, or weightlifting is what they called it at the time. Weightlifting was the first competition, right? Stuff. And so it was very, very technical. It's very, very weightlifting is very, very technical. At the time, there were 3 lifts. So you had the snatch, the clean and jerk, and then the standing press. Very technical because this is the Olympics, right? Well, then powerlifting was essentially the odd lifts, and it was a competition that came about from the assistance movements that people were doing to help get them stronger for Olympic lifting, right? So they're like, well, let's pick, and they called them the slow lifts, right? But it was still heavily influenced by the fact that these people had very technical constraints on them anytime they wanted to go compete in weightlifting. So they made powerlifting in order for it to be seen as a legitimate sport, which they're still trying to do. They try to make it as technical as possible, right? And then when strongman came along, I think it came more out of the strongman, the demonstration strongman side of things, as opposed to descending from a competition sport. So, demonstration strongman and say, hey, I wonder if I can pick up an elephant, Well, nobody's out there like weighing the elephant. It's just like, oh yeah, that's an elephant. I verified. Look, it just did the thing with its trunk. All right, it's an elephant. He picks it up. Wow. Okay, great. Right. And so I think that's one reason why it's a little bit more free flowing than what you have with a sport like powerlifting. Now, I love the fact that powerlifting is so technical because you have to demonstrate mastery of the lift of whatever weight you're doing. It's like, okay, we don't count it if you hitch because you have to show that you've mastered the weight. With strongman, it's more like, hey, did you pick it up or not? Did you pick it up or not? And there's still some technical aspects. Like Brian Shaw's a very technical guy. And the deal is like the stronger you are, the more weight you can handle before your technique breaks down. But with powerlifting, technique breaks down. A lot of times the lift is over. With strongman, you now have the ability to say, you know what? It's more like a test of your heart. Like, can you still get it done? And I think that there's stuff about it that appeals to me both ways. You know what I mean? And I also will say this too, that the technical aspect of the rules, the highly technical aspect of the rules is one of the big reasons for why there's so much drama in powerlifting. You've got 75,000 different federations because they're arguing typically over a rules technicality, a literal rules technicality. And now that the internet is a thing, everybody's a judge. Everybody's watching. And I mean, I understand I'm part of the problem. I live stream stuff. People watch the live stream and then they're coming up to the judge showing, hey, look at this video on the live stream. It shows that I hit depth. Like, come on, man. Seriously. So I'm glad that strongman they've got drama, but I'm just saying, I'm glad that sometimes you just want to watch people lift up heavy stuff. Good God.
So one of the things that I go back to and is where I'm trying to get back to is strongman kind of originated in the carnivals, right?
Yeah.
So you think the old carnivals, the lifts, these guys, they look so strong and everything. And while technically there's not a lot of rules, there's a lot of technique in these lifts.
Yeah.
Like, for example, bent press. You can't just take someone in 20 minutes and teach them bent press. You can't teach, like a jerk quickly, like if you're going to, jerk overhead.
A continental clean.
Continental clean.
It looks so simple, but it's not.
It's not. It's a lot of work and it's hard. Kurt picked up a Yeti. That's pretty cool. I hope she was pretty.
Now you see why I said that the two of you I can see. All right, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, you remember the old Eddie Murphy skit where he said he was like in a boat with a Bigfoot and she stuck her head in the water.
He said she stuck her face in. They stuck their face in the water. They came out with fish.
Yeah, goody goo goo. But
I'm just telling you, yeah. All right.
That's why I'm trying to get back to the old carnival type stuff that I'm doing. That's why we're going to have bounce houses for kids. That's why we're going to have a dunk tank. If I could have a bearded lady, I'd probably have a bearded lady. I mean, whatever we can do to bring fun and excitement back to the sport, because not dissing anybody, not putting anyone down, but when I go to some of these shows and they're so regimented, and I say, I'd never lift in this show, because if you're yelling at athletes and telling them they need to be in a place, and then this is all sports, right? Yeah. At any point someone yells at you, I mean, I walk away. I don't allow myself to be treated like that, and I don't allow others to be treated like that. Now, if you do something stupid and you drop 800 pounds on me while I'm back squatting you, I'm going to yell at you.
Yeah.
That's different. I've had it happen.
Yeah. Because you almost killed me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've gone after people for that before. And, that's not really my nature, but things happen and you have to get past them. But at the point where you start treating your athletes like you're a jerk, it doesn't work for me. I just want to have fun.
Yeah. I mean, so this is a whole different topic, but I'm like, look, the fact, I understand that, no shade to anybody who stocks shelves at Home Depot when I give this example, but look, I understand that you stock shelves at Home Depot most of the year, and now this one weekend you get to be a judge and tell other adults what to do. Don't come trying to flex your power at me, okay? I ain't you gotta relax. All right. You don't rate to yell at me. People who yell at me have earned my respect, and you're not there yet. So I'm just like, everybody, you got to relax. This is supposed to be fun. The other side of it too is this. I paid you to do this. I'm the customer. In what other scenario in life am I going to pay you to yell at me? You know, because I'm not one of those people that pays for boot camps. You know, I don't pay people to go yell at me. I just ain't gonna have that. So I completely
We've been through
understand,
that.
man. Like exactly. I'm like, you gotta calm down. All right. So let's as we wrap up, it seems like Jay, by the way, I saw your question about the training split. I just and I'm not ignoring it. I'm just gonna talk about it a little bit. It's a little bit more in depth of a question than it seems on the surface. It's pretty. So this is Jay's question. He said, what split are you guys using for training? I have no clue what I'm doing. I just move weight with no plan. So the first thing is like, all right, I know what Jay's goal is, but you start with your goal. Then I start with where you are and what you've done before, right? So I'm not ignoring your question, Jay. It's just a little bit more involved than I can do during this interview. But anyway, definitely. So but circle back. So the competition is less than 30 days away. So it looks to me like this is a competition that's a good fit for someone who's not a cardio fiend, because that's the other thing. A lot of the competitions that you see on the World's Strongest Man, they're for people who have an engine. You know, shout out to my guy, Bobby Thompson, right? He's a good dude.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen Bobby in ages, but Bobby's a good dude. But he's got, you look at him and you wouldn't think it, but Bobby's got an engine, right? He recovers fast. And so he's a good fit for shows like, they're like the fast shows, a lot of moving events, right? This show is a lot of static events. So if you've got a lot of good posterior chain strength, good muscle endurance, especially in your lower back, this might be a good fit for you. So with the competition less than 30 days away, though, do you have any last minute tips for would-be competitors?
Yes, come during weigh-ins. If you don't know how to do something, tell me. I will help you. None of this is rocket science. The lifts are simple to do when you start them, but then you can add more technique as you go into the sport more, if you want to go into the sport more. But I can teach you everything you need to know about a log clean, an axle clean and press in 20, 25 minutes. And the best part is it's free. And if you do horrible and you don't like the way I coached you, you get your money back. I'll even give you double your money back.
Next question. When I last checked, you only had 12 spots left. So obviously people can still get into it. People can just go to Iron Podium, I'm assuming, if they want to get in it.
Yes.
And the last time I live streamed for you, remember, we're in Melbourne, Arkansas, right? And I bet none of you watching, unless you've been there, you don't know where that is, right? But you have people come from as far away as Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
So obviously people can fly in, which is a big deal because you've got all this gear, you know, if you want to compete and stuff. So how far away is the nearest airport in case somebody wants to fly?
Little Rock really is the closest. It's about 2 hours.
That's not bad.
But a lot of the athletes that we pull are from here in Arkansas. We get some Tennessee. We get, I don't think we've had anyone from Oklahoma, but Oklahoma's close. And Missouri. We've got a lot of good friends up in Missouri and have a good working relationship with them. When I can, I sponsor their shows. We've got some good people in Illinois. I sponsor their shows as well. And, you know, they're always quick to help out and, you know, help us out. You know, Chelsea Morgan, who is in Cape Girardeau, she's a great person to help. Lance and Regina Dar, they're absolutely
good people.
Just good people, salt of the earth. And I'm trying to think. We're also working with Cajun Labs. They're out of Louisiana. I'm not sure if they're going to be here or not, but they're kind of.
Are they a sponsor?
They're kind of one of our unofficial sponsors.
Okay.
And we're doing something a little different this year. We're not putting sponsors on the T-shirts. We're going to put numbers on the back of the T-shirts. So that way on the live stream, you will say, oh, number one, that's Christian Case, you know, or whoever number one
that
is. Number two.
So you know what? Let me go on a rant, and if I'm going to try not to run over into the next segment, but you're the only guest for the day, so if we run over a little bit, it's okay. Straight up, it is so tough, you know, when I'm live streaming stuff, and I mean, you've done color commentary, play-by-play with me, right? It is so hard. So think about it like this. Let's use the what I call the gold standards, the NFL. Okay, Kurt. You look at how they do play-by-play, right? They screw up, and these guys get a roster. They get an act. That's part of why the teams have to announce who's on the active roster, because the media has to know who's playing. They have to know that they have to go and study the numbers for the players. It's not just competitive advantage. It's also so the media can say, oh, and so touchdown pass to Malik Neighbors, right? He's wearing number 1, just for example, right? You have to know who, okay, Daniel Jones just threw the touchdown. You have to know who did what. You don't get that with stuff like this. People are weighing in the day of, maybe the day before. So if I'm doing color commentary, play-by-play, I find out who is who when I get there. And then I listen to the announcer say so-and-so's coming up. And then I have to like remember who this person is. So, and I'm trying not to get people's, and then I have to, sometimes I'm looking at a sheet. They give me a sheet. Oh, this is everybody that signed up and they actually showed up. That's good when I know that this person's actually there, right? I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay. Then I have to figure out how to pronounce this person's name so their grandma who's watching doesn't get mad at me, right?
Oh, and grandma gets mad. She does.
Kurt says you get 1 recliner per day. Dude, hey, I'm in rare form. I told y'all at the beginning of the show, I say it's about to be on. All right, so here's the thing. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's one of the things when people do competitions like this, and they're like, and I'm like, look, you know, sometimes they set it up to be athlete friendly, but in trying to be athlete friendly, they make it not media friendly. So it makes for a worse broadcast product. So now somebody who's watching it sees your show and it's like, yeah, it doesn't look like much. Now they don't want to come compete in it. But if you have a great production on a live stream, what happens? People are like, man, that looks like a fun show. I want to go compete there next time, right? And so I'm like, it's like a symbiotic thing, right? Because people are like, oh, there's always the FOMO, like, man, I wish I had gone and competed in that. So I just absolutely love that something as simple as just putting the people's numbers on the back of the shirt is there, because I'm like, man, that helps me out. I was like, oh, that's number 2. Remember, were you at the Mammoth with me that time? You know what I'm talking about?
Those 2 guys, man. Those 2 guys.
Yeah. Heck,
they're standing next to each other, and I can't tell them
both
apart.
had gray shirts on.
Yeah, they looked exactly the same.
And so, okay, so this is story time, right? So we're trying to call the thing and say who just did this. The people's relatives are on the stream in the chat saying, that's not so-and-so. I'm like, they both have beards. They're both the same height. They're both white. They both got on gray shirts. I'm like, I don't know. They're in the same weight class. So finally what we did is like, okay, tell him to come up here. So one of the guys came up, he said, hi, I'm so-and-so. And my mom texted me and told me I needed to come up and tell you my name. That's how we figured out who he was.
And you know what? We still got him wrong. We still got him wrong.
I'm doing the best I can. Okay. But anyway, that's just behind the scenes stuff that I know none of y'all care about, but oh well, you got to listen to it. That's why you're here.
But we're going with numbers instead of names, because I'm only charging $35 for this show.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta do what I can. Last year we wrote the numbers on people's arms last year.
Yeah. That was actually a step in the right direction. It helped.
Right.
It really did help. I mean, it just started sometimes getting rubbed off, you know, and people put it. My favorite part is where people were putting it in parts where it's going to rub against their body. And I'm like, oh, you do? I said, you've done this sport before. Well, maybe you haven't. Okay, never mind. I'm like, why would you put it there? It's going to get rubbed off.
We also considered, you know, like when you do like a 5K or a 10K or a marathon, the little numbers and bibs. Yeah. We thought about doing that on the back.
Yeah.
But then my t-shirt guy, he's like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
And shout out to River City Productions, who's doing our t-shirt.
The shirt's unique now. It's got your name. Yeah, that's so official. I love it, man. All right. So one thing that we didn't talk about is we talked about your shelter is a 501c3. Well, how does the competition benefit the animal shelter? Are the proceeds from the entries going to the shelter? How's the money getting to the actual animals?
Well, we're using this as a donation drive. So I'm hoping that if somebody makes that $40 when they pull that truck, that they'll give it back to me. But the money that we raise, $35, if you think we get, 40 athletes, that's what, $1,400. That won't cover t-shirts and the trophies. It just won't. And everything else that we're doing, we're paying the DJ. We've got a free photographer, so we're not going to pay, we're not going to ask the athletes to pay for pictures. Come on, man. Be real about that. So we're going to ask for donations. Last year, we raised for a different.
Hang on. Let me cut you off. You can actually donate to support the shelter right now if you want. Okay, I've got the PayPal link. I just tried to post it in the live chat, and I'm posting it in the description. But you literally can go on PayPal, and if they go on Facebook, is there a donate link on your Facebook page?
I for the Outback Kitty Haven, I don't think so. But I will put it up there.
Get your life together, Dave. Let's go. Get it. Let's go.
Well, John, I'm going to tell you the type of person I am. I don't like to ask for money.
Don't ask. Just put the button there and let them make a choice.
Right. I don't.
Choices.
And that's the thing. I'm not asking anybody today here to support us. But if it's in your heart and you want to, we will appreciate it and guarantee that every penny goes toward the cats in some way. I've got a cat right now. His name's Roscoe P. Coltrane. Roscoe is paralyzed. Right there. Well, he's paralyzed from the waist down. So he's a special needs kitty. He has to wear a diaper. And the reason I named him Roscoe, well, he's an orange cat. We have two other cats named Bo and Luke Duke. So Roscoe's never going to catch them Duke boys, right? The same thing with that Roscoe. He's never going to catch anybody. So I named him Roscoe.
There you go.
Keep the oranges in the family, man.
Nice.
But he's the sweetest cat that you've ever seen. And seriously, I got a call at 7:30 in the morning from a local business. I was like, man, I've got this cat. It's been hit by a car. There's something wrong with it. No questions asked. Get it, take it to the vet, come home. And that cat is just an amazing cat. Just a good cat. He'll stay here at our Outback Kitty Haven forever. He'll live a long, full life and, help me buy some diapers. There we go. I'll make that pitch.
Nice. I am definitely not putting that on the screen, Kurt. I'm definitely not putting that on screen. I see it. I see what you're doing. I see you just tried. You tried. Nice try. I'm not doing that. I will put this there. Carlos said, I just heard Roscoe's laugh in my head. So I know that link is like as long as the first 4 entries in the dictionary. But I'm trying to fix that. And I will put that PayPal link up so anybody who wants to support Outback Kitty Haven can do so. Last thing is, I mentioned sponsors. You're the reason I know about Dude Bombs, which in my mind are legendary. Okay, I put them in my Amazon thing now. Now it's a subscribe and save. Send the Dude Bombs in, right? If you're out there and you've never tried Dude Bombs, just go ahead and order some. I don't have a promo code, but yes, get you some Dude Bombs. And absolutely. I found out about them because of your thing, which I thought was great. When you got one bathroom and a whole bunch of large people who consume a lot of protein, they had like the Dude Bombs in the bathroom, and then they were also giving them out as gifts to the athlete. Hey, we're sponsored by Dude Bombs. Here you go. So, what would you say is like the most off the beaten path sponsor you've got this year?
So we decided not to go with a lot of sponsors this year. We kind of changed the business model up because we want to make it about our Kitty Haven. Okay. I've got, the Den Mill Cedar Lodge. We've got River City Productions, Cajun Labs. I'm going to forget somebody, but I didn't do a bunch of sponsors this year because I felt that I could do it without the sponsors' help.
Gotcha.
After this, of course, I'll do like an after action plan and see how much it helped or how much it didn't help. But, I've got a community now, right? Yeah. So I've got a community that'll help. I've got people who are willing to step up. Miller's Hardware last year, they donated a lot
What
of
about the cattle place?
water
The beef
to
people.
us. Yeah, they donated some stuff, and we did giveaways and some other things. They'll probably do water again this year.
Cool.
But yeah, I didn't really go for any crazy sponsors, but I will second and third on the Dude Bombs.
Dude
One of
bombs.
the
Legit.
one of the best decisions I ever made, and yeah, maybe I'll give them a call and see if we can get some.
Heck,
Just so
tell them I'm a fan now, and I cheerfully buy Dude Bombs all the time, and yeah, we're all happy about it. If you don't know what Dude Bombs is and you're out there, you need to get familiar. If you lift weights, you need to get familiar.
Yeah, and we've got some in our pool house for you for when you come.
Hey, legit Dude Bombs for real. It's for real though.
Yeah.
Rory, welcome to the show. Hey, so now we've got Army. We already had Air Force with Kurt. And we got the Marine Corps with us. All we need is somebody from the Navy, and we got and I guess the Coast Guard. We'll be complete.
Hold on now. Technically, we're Navy.
Yeah, but we're the men's department.
The men's department, right? But technically, we're Navy.
Yeah. But I brought up Rory because Rory, you need to go to this competition, ArkanStrong Record Breakers. It is next month on the 26th. Is that right?
26. Where's Rory from?
Rory is Nashville.
Rory, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Rory, this is legitimately unit. In fact, I'll hit him up and try to talk him into going because Rory, I think you'll enjoy it. He's in the guard, but Rory is definitely. This is the kind of show I think that he would enjoy. And he's a good dude as well.
I can throw him for incentive now. I can throw him a military discount.
There you go. Hey,
buy one, pay for two.
Rory, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to negotiate this. Rory, I'm telling you, I'm going to message you. I'm going to get you to go to this competition. I'm telling you. So anybody wants more information, is Iron Podium the best place to go?
It is. My phone number and email are on there. Please feel free to contact me. I've got like 4 businesses that all go to my phone. Yeah. So depending on who's calling,
when you call, talk about your reason for calling as early as possible during the call.
Right. I get somebody call like, "Hey, do you take kittens?" And I'm like, "Not without your knowledge." That's like you go, like when you go out to eat and it's like, "Hey, do you want a box?" And I'm like, "Sure, let's go."
Yeah, that's hilarious. No, so just to say, so Rory. All right, I tell you what this. So Rory has the same energy as John Simmons.
Okay.
That's the kind of dude he is.
Yeah.
Same kind of, and Rory's got a 700-pound deadlift. So I'll just say.
Well, we can't all be perfect, can we?
I know, man. All right. Dude, I appreciate you being here. We always have a lot of fun whenever you're on, man. And absolutely. I want you to come back. Don't wait for me to ask you. Hit me up and say, "Hey, man, I got something coming up." And I'm happy to bring you on anytime I have I can, just because I believe in what you guys do. I'm a big fan of you and Christy, and your family, man. So
I appreciate it.
Everybody go follow my guy on Instagram at Credible Huck. Let me put this up here one more time. Everybody follow Credible_Huck on Instagram. Everybody go on Facebook and like Outback Kitty Haven. Do you have anything else you want to plug before you get out of here?
No, but I would like to end with a joke.
Oh boy. All right, hold on.
So my birthday's coming up soon, October 1st. I'm going to be 51 years old. So my wife bought me a boomerang. I used to be big into boomerangs. But the thing is, I forgot how to throw it, but eventually it came back to me.
Happy birthday in advance, my man. Just for that, I'm going to call and sing happy birthday to you on your birthday. You've been warned.
Who this? New phone.
Later, man. I appreciate you being here, dude.
Yeah, thanks, John. Love you, man.
Later. All right, and that was my guy, David Huckleby, man. That is my dude. He is, for real, that is good people right there. I don't endorse everybody, but when I endorse them, I really mean it. And I'm telling you, I'm a huge fan of everything that they do over there. If you guys want to get a sample of what their competitions are like, we do have the stream. Well, We've streamed 2 competitions for them, and they're both here in the live stream, the past live streams here on the Garage Gym Life Media YouTube channel. The stream that we're doing for them is going to be on this channel once again. And the point of the streams, I told you guys I was going to bring it back around to people who don't compete. The point of it is sometimes you train in your home gym and you just want something on in the background. And so that's why we do these streams. You can just throw it on and you can lift. You can do whatever you're doing that day and just have that on in the background. And it's always a good time. And then, you might say, you know what, that looks like something I might want to do. And now, you found out about a new sport. We were talking about Brian Shaw earlier. A lot of people don't realize that Brian Shaw was a basketball player before he ever got into strongman. He was a basketball player. He actually gained weight, a significant amount of weight, in order to compete in the sport of strongman. What if he had never discovered strongman? Just think about how different the world would be, much less his own life, if he had decided to try to be, he wouldn't go into the NBA. All right. What if he decided, oh, no, basketball is my thing, and he had never heard about strongman? So I'm just telling you that it's one of those things that I don't take for granted and I don't take lightly. That being said, it is now 10 after 8. And so it is time to give a shout out to the Mountain Time Zone. Thank you for waking up way too early with Garage Gym Life. If this is your first time here, welcome. Do me a favor, hit that like button and hit subscribe. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers. I'm very, very close. I can see it. I said I wanted to get to 50,000 this year, and we are so close. But we got to pick up some speed here. So if you're watching this video, no matter when you're watching it, please, first thing, hit subscribe and help me out. So many people watch a video, they hear people say hit like and subscribe, and then they don't hit like and subscribe. It benefits, it's free. It actually benefits you because it helps to educate the YouTube algorithm and let it know that this is the kind of stuff that you want to see. And then it also obviously benefits me because the bigger my reach grows, the easier it is for me to get not only the more well-known people that you guys want to hear from, but also I can give a platform to people like my guy David, who was just on, so that you guys can find out about him. And so you guys can become as big fans of his as I am. But you wouldn't know about him if I didn't have this platform. So you can help me by simply just hitting that subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, share this video, share my channel link with people and tell them, hey, you need to go on YouTube and subscribe to this dude. I really, really appreciate it because I cannot do this without all of you guys' help. If you are, you're about to get in the car, you're like, I can't, I don't have time to watch this on YouTube. We have an audio version that's on Podbean, and that audio version is available within about 30 minutes after the live stream ends. The audio replay is available on Podbean, and I typically will go in there and I update the description with everything. I don't have timestamps on Podbean, but it's pretty much the idea is you can turn it on and just drive for about 3 hours and not have to look for anything else to listen to. That's the whole point of it. So there we go. All right, now let's see here. It's now time to go to give you guys our segment. This is going to be what I called it Story Time with Grandpa. And I know you guys said that Story Time with Grandpa needs its own intro theme thing. I'm I've got some ideas for how to do it. I just haven't figured out something that I really like. And that's why I haven't implemented it yet, but it's coming. But it's about to be Story Time with Grandpa. And that consists of what's coming up with Garage Gym Life this fall, as well as what's been going on with Garage Gym Life. I see here. Okay, so Rory said, I'll look into it. He said, unfortunately, October isn't a great month for me to travel 6 hours for a comp because it's his unit goal cycle. You're the go-to emergency response unit in our FEMA region. Okay. Hey, I understand, man. I got you. I just think it's if you don't do that competition, he's going to have others. I will definitely, I'm going to put you in the loop with him, though. I think it's a good little change of pace location to go compete in. Yeah, I got you. Once you said you were, the situation with FEMA, I got you. No stress. All right. So let's start out with what's coming up. All right. So we've got some upcoming live streams. We were just talking about the ArkanStrong Record Breakers. But before that, we've got the USPC America's Championship, and that is going to be Saturday, October 12th. This is a 2-platform meet, meaning you're going to have 2 people competing at the same time throughout the meet. So that's going to be streamed on the USPC YouTube channel. And there's so go to @USPC 2020 on YouTube and do me a favor, subscribe to that channel, because that's how you'll be able to get notified when the stream starts. But I'll be providing, so basically it's their platform, essentially their camera setup. And what Garage Gym Life is doing in partnership with them is we are providing the play-by-play and the color commentary. So you'll hear my voice giving play-by-play coverage throughout the meet as the lifters are competing. And I'll be doing interviews with the lifters, which is part of what I do. We actually were one of the first live stream companies to actually do interviews with lifters during streams. Before that, people would just set up a cell phone and walk away, right? And now you've got companies like ADL and some other companies that are out there live streaming stuff, and they're actually doing stuff like what we did, right, when we started it. So when I see it, I don't get like mad that they're doing it. I just like, oh, basically I changed the world in a little way, and so that makes me feel good. But nevertheless, you want to see the original do it, you get to see it on October 12th, and that will be the USPC America's Championship, Saturday, October 12th. That's going to be streamed on the USPC YouTube channel. So do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe to that channel as well. Then on the 26th of October, we were just talking about ArkanStrong Record Breakers, and that's going to be streamed here on the Garage Gym Life YouTube channel. Okay, so the USPC America's Championship will be on the USPC YouTube channel. We're doing color commentary, play-by-play. ArkanStrong Record Breakers, I'll be doing play-by-play with some guest commentary, but we're streaming that on this channel, on the Garage Gym Life Media YouTube channel that you're watching now. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to stream the entire competition. Again, like I said, we'll be doing play-by-play with guest commentary. The goal is to let you guys feel like you are part of the event, that you are there. There'll be I want you to look at it and like it, so enjoy watching it so much that you like, next year I got to go to that competition. All right. And you guys can get, as I said, a sneak peek of what that looks like by checking out our live stream of Static Monsters that we did for David last year. And then we also did a live stream of Static Monsters for him the year before that. So that's 2 back-to-back Static Monsters live streams that we did for David that you guys can check out. And it is right on our YouTube channel, right here on Garage Gym Life YouTube channel. And in fact, what I'll do is I will put the links in the description for both of those, so you guys can just, essentially just go to it. All right. But anyway, so then on November, let me look at my calendar here, because I always forget this one. It's on my calendar. If I don't have it on my calendar, I'm going to forget, I guarantee. So I think it's November. Is it the 22nd? 23rd. Okay. November 23rd, Saturday, November 23rd is another USPC competition. We're going to be live streaming that. That will be the USPC The Shack Showdown. So this will be our second time streaming the Shack Showdown. The first time we streamed it 2 years ago, didn't stream it last year, and we're going to stream it again this year. This is going to be streamed on the USPC YouTube channel at USPC 2020. Once again, I'll be doing color commentary, doing play-by-play, and on their channel. And this is a pro-am. So what that means is you're going to have amateurs competing to get trophy medals, and then you've got pros who are competing for cash prizes. So you're going to see a significant amount of weight get moved that day in the squat, bench, and deadlift. It is, once again, like I said, it is a good time. We were, when we first did the stuff for them, it was on Vimeo, so we could charge for it. I know people like to charge for live streams, but to be honest with you, I get paid to live stream stuff. Okay, I typically get paid good money. Okay, to go out and live stream for people. Okay, I don't need. Yes, I could make more money if I then charged you for the live stream as well. But I feel that we'll get more people to watch if it's free on YouTube, which then fulfills the organization's goal of getting more lifters to want to come compete with them, right? And if I get as many eyeballs on the stream as possible, I get more organizations wanting me to come out and live stream for them. So I'm not trying to, that $5.99 I could charge you to come stream is going to limit the number of people who will watch it. And also, typically, whenever someone watches a live stream like that you've paid on a pay-per-view, that pay-per-view is only available for like 30 days because whatever platform they're on has limited bandwidth to store the videos. And so they always have to take it down, or they'll put it on YouTube and it'll be free eventually anyway. So I'm like, well, why not just put it on YouTube? So we put it on YouTube. It's free. You come check it out. If you guys want to support, this is something you can do. So while you're watching on YouTube and you're like, hey, man, I really like this content or whatever, and you want to support even more, you could always use the super chat. Heck, you could use super chat now. Any kind of live stream, you could do the super chat function and donate. I think the lowest amount you can give in the super chat is $1.99. So there are opportunities, but I don't feel like I need to charge for live streams. So charge people for watching live streams. Because again, I grew up in the era when TV was free. Okay. So there's a little bit of that old man, hey, kids, get off my lawn about me. I don't feel like that's necessary. I'm not knocking anybody that charges pay-per-views for their live streams. I'm just saying, to me, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you're limiting the number of people who can see and discover what you're doing. And you claim by live streaming it that the reason you're live streaming is to allow people's families to be able to watch it. You claim you're trying to grow the sport. Well, if you really want to grow the sport, why would you charge for a live stream on Bandcamp or some whatever the platform is you're using, when people aren't going to want to go there? Nah, man, whatever. That's a whole separate rant. Let's see. Jared, by the way, to answer your question about David, yes, he did injure his elbow. But yeah, he's healthy now. Talking about David, yes, he did. So that's it. So those are the 3 dates that we have on the calendar: October 12th, October 26th, and November 23rd. Those are the live streams you're going to want. And if you want to be able to watch them, you need to be subscribed to the Garage Gym Life YouTube channel. And then you want to subscribe to the USPC YouTube channel, which is USPC 20. So you guys can check that out. All right. Then, let's see here. The other thing we have going on, I kind of touched on this earlier, but you guys asked for a coffee mug, so I made a coffee mug. So this is the coffee mug here. Let's go ahead and let me show you this for those who are just now joining. So who weren't watching earlier. So you guys said you wanted a Best Gym in Town mug. I like this design, and I'm just going to be candid. I probably, marketing people would tell you not to do this. This is an 11-ounce mug, right? The marketing people would tell you not to do this, which is probably why I suck at marketing, and I can't make billions of dollars off of affiliate cash like some content creators. But it is what it is. I got to be true to who I am. I don't like this. So the back of the mug doesn't have anything on it. I wanted it to be a true wraparound style, right? So I would like it if I Own the Best Gym in Town was a true wraparound, and like it was all the way around. But I can't control that because for the purposes of like where we are in terms of the life cycle of our brand, I don't have the access to the resources to be able to just make mugs that, you know, like that. And I don't have a way to just maintain inventory and have a bunch of mugs in my basement, right? That's where the weights go. I don't have room for mugs. That's where the weights are. So as a result, this is what we have. But if I see that there's interest in this kind of stuff, then that gives me the incentive to say, okay, well, I have proof of concept. So now I can justify saying, let's take the profits from this and put it into making a small batch of mugs, maybe like some coffee mugs with this logo on there. And then that will be the kind of stuff that if I'm at an event physically, so that at, you know, maybe not Home Gym Con, but like ArkanStrong Record Breakers, I'm there. I'll have some merch there on hand with me. So if somebody wants to buy Garage Gym Life merch, it's right there and you guys can buy it from me. Okay. So everywhere that I go to live stream, one of the things I include in my deal is that I have the right to sell Garage Gym Life merchandise there. So that's another factor about any kind of competition. If you're deciding you want to like go, if I'm there, I'll have my merch on hand to sell. But the point is, you guys wanted a coffee mug, so this is the coffee mug. It's right there. Give you some product details. It's dishwasher. Let's slow down and try that word again. It's dishwasher and microwave safe, and it is ceramic. You got a 30-day free return policy. I don't handle any of that stuff. This is Teespring, and they handle all of it like they do for many other creators. So if you order it today, your order is going to ship by October 2nd. And worldwide shipping is available, and you can choose your shipping speed at checkout. But the products are fulfilled locally in the US and in Europe, you know. So if you're in England and you order it, it's going to be fulfilled by somewhere in England. Okay. So there you go. So you guys asked for a mug. I got you a mug. Said no left-handed mug options. I think what you're talking about is no. The only option that was available is the one that's there. All right. And again, that's why when you guys were first talking about it, I was like, yeah, I want a mug. Okay, I can do it. But again, the constraints are, if I do it this way, the constraints are I'm limited by what their platform lets me do. I know, look, everybody's like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. Just give me what I want. But you also have to understand that there's a unit cost for each mug. So if I want to do it the way I want, what I have to do is buy each mug, the blank mugs, pay somebody to put the logo on there, then go check the mugs and make sure that they look good, look the way that I want them to, have somewhere to store them, wait for somebody to order them, get them shipped out, which is going to cost me more because it's going to be a small batch. And which means it'll also take you guys longer to get your mugs, by the way. And then, and that's how you do it. So whenever you have like a company that has inventory like that, what they do is they have a warehouse where they store this stuff for months at a time until you order one, and then they'll pick it off the pallet and send it to you. I don't have the resources to do that because, again, my business consists of me and then people who help out, you know, on a part-time as needed basis. Okay. So we're not there yet. I'm not riding around in a limo. I'm sorry. So let's see here. Yeah. So anyway, so that answers the next three things. All right. Carp said, I already ordered my mug life, baby. Hey, I appreciate the support, man. Like I said, I appreciate it. And the other reason, this is just me being transparent. The other reason why I did it this way is because let's say y'all look at it and say, hey, I don't really like that. And you decide not to order it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just take it down and not worry about it. What I have had happen is I remember I dropped about $1,000 on these tumblers and they sat in my attic. First, they were in my basement, but that's where the weights go. So they eventually had to move. And so then they went up in my attic. And they were just sitting there in my attic for, quite honestly, there's still a few of them up there. I'm not at the point where I'm willing to just eat $1,000 because people say, oh man, if you had this, I would buy it. And then they don't because other things come up, right? So yeah, I ain't about that life anymore. So sorry. Shout out to everybody who ordered one. Carlos said no left-handed mug, but that's what straws are for. Dang it, Carlos, that's vicious. Calm down. Ain't no need to yell. All right. Seriously, I appreciate everybody's support. I thank you for the ideas. And like I said, we'll see how this goes. And if there's enough support for it, then we'll upgrade what we're doing. All right. Now, let's see here. Oh, I'm running out of time. I better hurry up. All right. So the next news item, this about coming up. So I'm about to start showing the podcast some love. So I'm always talking about the audio version of this podcast that is on Podbean. And you guys can check out the audio version on podbean.com. Podbean is a podcast platform, kind of like Spotify. So you can go on there and Podbean has an app. So you can listen to this podcast on there. Well, what the podcast looks like right now on Podbean is basically it's this show that is designed to be a visual medium. So this show is designed to be kind of like Good Morning Football, right? Or Up and Adams is another show that is a big influence on what I do. Up and Adams with Kay Adams. She does NFL content and she's got a morning show. So it's designed to be something you watch, but if you have to, like, it's on and you jump in the shower, you can listen, but you get more out of it if you're watching the show, right? So that's what the podcast is right now. Well, to me, that's not fair to the people who are podcast only listeners, right? And I don't like doing stuff if I can't do it and be excellent, right? There's some people who will be like, well, it's good enough. And I hear that quite a bit. You know, they're like, oh, you're doing this. Why it's good enough. Even when the way I edit videos on YouTube, I look at other people's videos and I'm like, why did you do that? You know, you could have done, it would take you a little bit extra effort to make it look better. And then it's good enough. In my opinion, good enough formed an alliance with mediocre to go to war with excellence. The problem is that in this conflict, life forces you to choose a side. And I'm not content with being associated with being mediocre. So once I agreed to, I was hesitant about doing the podcast side of things because I know how I am. So once I committed to saying, okay, we'll do the podcast side of things, I started thinking about how I could make it a better experience for the people who are in podcasts. So if you're listening on Podbean, you're like, this is you. I'm talking directly to you. Here's about to start showing the podcast some love. So right now you get one upload on the podcast, 5 days, one upload a week. And that is basically this live stream gets shared on Podbean. It's about to go to 5 days a week. Okay. So we're going to baby step it. First, it'll be 2 days a week. Step 1, 2 days a week. Right. So first thing we're going to do is add an upload on Monday. So right now, I used to do my uploads to YouTube on Mondays, and the rest of the week was YouTube Shorts. And then on Fridays, we do this show live, right? That's going to change. Or I've already kind of changed it. So now it's YouTube Shorts on Monday. My YouTube upload, the long form upload on Tuesday, YouTube Shorts Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then this show on Friday at 6, right? The reason I did that was so that the podcast upload could be on Monday. So you're going to get one upload on Monday for the podcast. It's going to be audio only, so it's not going to be on YouTube. Let me say that again. if you're listening to the audio, if you check, and I encourage you, check out Garage Gym Life on Podbean. Let me see if I can't pull it up here. This will show you, yeah. So let me show you right here. All right, so this is what it looks like. Yeah, this is what it looks like for you if you are not. Let me sign out so you guys can see. Podbean.com, Garage Gym Life. All right, and I'll just go there so you guys can see what it looks like right now. All right, so if you go to Podbean, let me share my screen, which is amazing, where I'm talking about an audio-only platform, but showing the video. All right, so if you go on Podbean, you see this is the show, right? And it's got all the episodes there. And if you look on it right now, you see that all the episodes are past episodes of the YouTube show. Well, what's about to happen when you go on Podbean is you're going to get an audio-only episode, right? Now, this is going to be primarily mindset content, okay? Probably not going to have guests, because one of the things that is a defining factor if you're going to have a podcast is you've got to have consistency. So when I get into it, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do a podcast, I got to have at least 52 episodes, because I got to have at least one episode a week, right? Well, the reality is that people flake out on you all the time. So and I run into it with the show all the time. People will say, oh yeah, I'll be on the show. And then they end up, something will come up and they can't come. And they'll tell me like last minute or just whatever, right? Okay, fine. But I'm not going to allow that to happen with the podcast. So as a result, what I'm going to do with the podcast is going to be dependent on one dude, me. And it's going to be primarily mindset content. We're shooting for 10 to 15 minute episodes, maybe shorter. But let me give you an example of what I mean by mindset, right? So the first episode is going to be talking about horse stall mats. Now, there are people who always hate on horse stall mats, and I'm going to talk about why I think the hatred for horse stall mats is misplaced. For example, one reason is most of the entities, let's just use that word, entities, most of the entities that try to tell you that you need to buy fitness flooring instead of horse stall mats have a financial incentive to get you to buy fitness flooring, right? Because they'll say, oh, fitness flooring is much better. And then somewhere in their speech, they'll say, here's the promo code for the fitness flooring I recommend. Okay? Financial incentive. The people who don't have a financial incentive will tell you, oh yeah, just go get some horse stall mats. Okay? You do with that what you will. And I hear the objections people have about horse stall mats, but I'm going to answer those objections in that episode. So that's an example of one topic. Another episode, probably going to make, people going to hate me for it, but it is what it is. I'm going to talk about xenophobia in home gym culture. So xenophobia, basically the hatred of anything that's other or different. And just to kind of unpack that a little bit, there's a very vocal minority of home gym owners who are extremely biased against the brands, against any brand that's outside of the brands that we've been marketed to believe are the only acceptable ones, right? So what I mean by that is, if you mention a brand that's not Rep Fitness or in some cases Bells of Steel, I'm trying to think companies like that, then they say, oh, you must have been paid off, right? You're a shill. Why would you talk about this brand? Why would you get this when you could get a Rep PR 5,000? Get a Rep PR 4,000. Why would you spend your money on that? Okay, whatever. All right. So I remember I was talking about Body Solid. I made a recommendation for a Body Solid gym. This happened too when I talked about the Marcy gym. Marcy Power Rack that I have downstairs that is actually about to get put on Facebook Marketplace, so I can have room for the new rack. But I said that this would be I said if I was a home gym owner and I was just starting out, I would definitely take a look at this rack. And they say, oh, you should just get a Marcy PR for, I think it's a PR 1000. It's a whole lot better. Why'd you do that? And let me tell you something, okay? Calm down, all right? Just because you fell in love with Rep, and I don't have a problem with Rep Fitness, but I'm just like, just because you fell in love with Rep Fitness and they do AMAs in our home gym and they do giveaways on Instagram where you got to tell your friends to like this post and follow this and share it with 2 people and name them all that. Just because they did all that stuff doesn't mean that they're the only ones who are making good equipment, right? But you'll have people like they'll just get up in arms. And then the other side of it is like, so maybe it's not a big company, but it's a company run by somebody who they know from the home gym Discord. Oh, how dare you talk about any company that's not that, right? I'm like, you got to relax. I remember even Body Solid. Body Solid wasn't accepted till Scott McDonald started doing AMAs in our home gym. Lit on Reddit, literally. Because I would bring up Body Solid as a recommendation to people and say, hey, this is a good brand, right? And they're like, Body Solid sucks. I remember one troll in particular who would comment on my videos, Body Solid sucks. Why would you ever recommend Body Solid? Their stuff is low budget, it's worthless. I'm like, oh, really? Well, Michael Jordan, Body Solid just posted on their Instagram that Michael Jordan outfitted his home gym with Body Solid equipment. All right. So, in fact, I'll pull that up right here. I will share my screen and show you guys that because I remember seeing it. I was like, there you go. That is the outside of Michael Jordan's house. Inside his home gym, Body Solid equipment. Okay. Body Solid equipment. Yes, that's inside. Yeah, and also the basketball. The dude who could afford to pay for that, complete with a logo that is his silhouette and a movie theater. You look at all that stuff he's got in there. But, oh, look, when he went to choose equipment, he chose Body Solid. All right. He didn't pick it because it's cheap. All right. Michael Jordan hadn't fallen on hard times and he picked Body Solid because it's the cheapest thing he could find. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to take somebody whose livelihood depends on lifting weights, like Michael Jordan. And for those who don't know, Michael Jordan, before Michael Jordan really got into lifting weights, basketball players didn't lift weights. But he was getting banged around so much, he said, I need to get bigger. He started lifting weights. So his livelihood, millions of dollars depended on him lifting weights. And he chose Body Solid, right? But I got randoms who lift occasionally as a hobby telling me that Body Solid is trash. Because their favorite influencer hasn't endorsed it. Well, the reality is that Body Solid didn't really do affiliate commission like that with influencers. So as a result, influencers weren't pushing it. They weren't pushing Body Solid. You know, come on, man, stop it. Then Finest Home Gym Builds. We had them on a few weeks ago. They build gyms for wealthy clients. That's not a rep or a rogue rack in a single one of their installations. These are people making 6, 7 figures. They do not care about the brands that are popular in the home gym Discord, okay? So it's not a quality thing. So if it's not a quality thing, why is there all this hatred all of a sudden? What's all of the why? Where's the hatred for? What's the hatred? So the question, why is Titan get a thumbs down? And 35-pound plates, why does that get a thumbs down? That's 2 separate issues. So my beef with Titan is that I have seen the lack of quality control with Titan Fitness with people who I know personally who have ordered Titan Fitness products, and the stuff shows up with parts missing. So you either got to call them. Think about it now. Your gym, you got all these parts in your gym, but you're missing bolts. So you can't put your power rack together or whatever you ordered because you're missing bolts. So now you got to reach back out to the company and say, hey, man, you owe me some bolts. Now you got to wait for them to send it to you. You already paid them thousands of dollars, but you can't do anything because they decided not to include all the bolts with your order. And then let's say they do send everything. Sometimes it's not made well. because they don't have quality control. And I've seen I know people who have injured themselves using a piece of Titan fitness equipment because it was poorly designed. Not because the original design was bad, but because there was very little quality control at the factory to make sure that what came off the factory, came out of the factory, matched what was the original product design. So I don't trust them. That's just, I just don't trust them like that. As far as 35-pound plates, that is influencer driven. You have people who sell plates and they don't want to make 45. They don't want to make 35s. They want to make 45s because they can make more money off of you by selling you 35s. And so they go on rants and tell you that 35-pound plates are worthless. Well, I think that's stupid because most of those people, if you use kilo plates and you use the yellows, which a lot of people do, or you use the blues, which a lot of people do, guess what? Those are essentially 35s, right? Well, the blues are actually 45s. The reds are 55s. But I'm just saying, if you use the yellows, which a lot of people do, then those are 35s. And nobody ever complains about the yellow kilo plates. So I ain't trying to hear that. So I think it's just one of those things. One person decided they didn't like it, and it just became like a flavor of the month thing for people to go off about. And it just became popular to talk about it. Jay said, like, Rep sent me the bench pads and a week later the frame came. Yeah. Well, actually, no. It's worse than that. It's worse than that. So, all right, I'll tell you guys a quick story. So my brother used a Titan. It was a trap bar, right? He used it at his buddy's house, at his buddy's home gym. He liked it. He's standing there with the guy. He said, "What is this?" The guy said, "Let me show you which one it is." He goes on his phone, standing at the guy's house. The guy says, "This is the one I ordered." He ordered the exact same one. It shows up at his house, and he doesn't realize that it is kind of offset. The tolerances are messed up on one side. So he's deadlifting with it, and he goes to put it down, and it ends up on his foot. He puts this fully loaded trap bar down on his foot because it's designed poor. It's because it's poorly designed. You've got stuff that won't. It's not that the part just doesn't show up, but the part shows up, and then you try to get it to work, and it doesn't fit. You end up having to get shims to shim it because they didn't have quality control to make sure that the rack is a true 3x3, for example, that the holes are lined up correctly. They just don't care. They don't care, and I don't trust them with my safety. So that's why. But I usually don't talk about Titan because that's another one of my things. Is like if I don't have anything nice to say about you, I try not to say anything about you at all. Because even this is giving them a little bit of advertising. Not that they need it. They've got plenty of people who love Titan. And God bless all of you. I'm happy for you. Continue buying Titan. Don't let me change your mind. But I'm just telling you, that junk ain't showing up at my house. All right. Let's see here. Anyway, and then as far as, I'll say one other example. What's popular in the community isn't always what's best. William Strength is out there outfitting $1 million installations. William Strength puts weight equipment in NFL in NFL installations, NFL facilities. All right, Division I facilities outfitted by William Strength. But I was at Home Gym Con. They had a booth there, and there's nobody going to their booth because everybody's like fanboying over Rogue Fitness, which actually didn't want people. But they're like, they didn't even want to talk to people. All right. And I got Rogue stuff, but I'm just saying, like, you can't just see it and say, "Oh, I don't know about William Strength." William Strength has been used by some of the strongest athletes in the world, but they don't get the same love because they weren't putting that energy into marketing to the home gym community. So I'm just saying, it's not that I knock people for not knowing about it, but what I don't like is when people are like, "Oh, you're talking about this brand and you shouldn't be because it's not the brand that I know. So that's going to be a topic. It's going to be, hey, the xenophobia in the home gym community. And I promise you guys can see already, that's quite a big topic. I can talk about it with ease a lot. Okay, so I hear that, Joey. They said that, yeah, they're happy to talk to you, but they weren't allowed to be on camera. Okay. So I'm going to say that I know somebody who walked over there, tried to talk to them, and they didn't want to talk to him. He had a question. Somebody asked him a question, and he said, hey, I just want to get the answer to this question. They didn't even say, hey, I can answer your question, but not on camera. They didn't want to answer the question. Okay? And the guy was trying to get the information because they were going to buy the product from their website. Okay, cool. If you don't want to talk to me when I'm trying to give you money, what's going to happen when I try to get you to fix something that's going wrong? My brother has a Rogue Monster Light, and he had something come up with it. He reached out to them to try to get help with his product, and they had no time for him. So there's that. Okay, so Carp said, yeah, somebody like Body Solid is a one-stop shop, so Michael Jordan can just pay an invoice and everything shows up on the truck and pallets, and then he pays an installer to set it up. Yeah, but my point is he could do that with anybody. Michael Jordan had the money to pay anybody, okay? You think that when Rogue Fitness came out, if Rogue was better and Michael Jordan was like, hey, you know what? I think this stuff is better. You think he wouldn't switch it up? All right. It's not like, he could have just gotten ready to get all this Body Solid stuff out of here. I'm going to switch to all Rogue. He didn't do it. I'm just telling you, the point is quality. One of the things that I like about Body Solid, which is what I was saying when I first recommended them, is they've been around for a long time and they give you a lifetime warranty on their products. So unlike a company that just started that may give you a 5-year or 1-year warranty, they're saying it's a lifetime warranty. Well, they've been around for long enough for me to believe that lifetime warranty means something. So that's what I'm saying. And so, yeah. All right. So let's see. So there we go. We got another Titan story. So Carp said, Titan pull-up bar I bought for my kid's birthday, showed up just brackets in a sealed box. His daughter was crying, and then he got a refund and bought Rogue, and the quality difference really was double or triple. I'm telling you, there are tons of stories. It's not that nobody has stories of good experiences with Titan. It's that there are too many experiences of bad. There are too many stories of bad experiences with the Titan for me to trust them with my safety. If I'm here lifting, a lot of times I'm here by myself or I'm here with my little girl. You want me to put myself in a situation where my health is at risk and she's going to have to call 911 because a bolt is missing because somebody at the factory didn't care enough to include it when I placed my order? Or they didn't care enough to actually have attention to detail, make sure that weld was really safe? Nah, man, I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing that. And I'm not going to encourage anybody else to put themselves at risk like that either. I'm just not doing it. So the podcast episodes are going to be uploaded by 6 a.m., but they will be pre-recorded, so you obviously can listen to them when you want. So it's still going to be way too early with Garage Gym Life. Still going to be 6 a.m. Eastern time. But it's pre-recorded, so if you want to listen to it at if you want to listen to it at midnight, hey, knock yourself out. It'll be available then. And then the normal live stream on Friday is still going to be part of the podcast. So if, just like I said with the cup thing, if it looks like there's interest, then we will expand to 5 days a week. So you'll get podcast episodes Monday through Friday. 4 uploads, 4 pre-recorded uploads, and then 1 live stream. And then we'll have the live stream that'll be on there as well. All right. So I just think that that's a better way to serve the people who are checking us out on Podbean and give you something more. And it's also cool because you'll still have like my YouTube shorts. You'll still have the normal stuff that I upload on YouTube already. But then if you want to kind of get like little snippets, like I guess what I can call like lessons I've learned over the course of the last 20 plus years of being a home gym owner, I've been lifting since 1993. So lessons I've learned since then, that's what you're going to be getting. So we'll just see how it goes. And I hope you guys check it out. Again, go to Podbean, look up Garage Gym Life. And the link to go to Podbean is in the description for this video. Just go there and you can get it. And then you can get the Podbean app and you'll start being able to check out the episodes. And, and I'm also looking for you guys' feedback too. So as the episodes come out, let me know what you think of it. I really am interested. And also please share the episodes with other people you think might enjoy it. Oh yeah. They have the machines and everything. But I mean, to be honest with you, again, so I realized that Michael Jordan had a lot of demands on his time, but realistically, it's not like the dude couldn't say, hey man, this is what I want. And he pays somebody to it's not like he put together his home gym himself. You know what I mean? He said, hey, I need a home gym. And then somebody who's putting the home gym together said, okay. And they got the stuff for him. So it's kind of like you can pay somebody to have the time. So maybe I don't have the time because I'm busy. But when I got Michael Jordan money, I can pay somebody to make the time to go shopping around for all of the things. So he didn't need to have it all be a one-stop shop is what I'm trying to say. But they chose to do it that way because it was a very good value. Yeah. I realize that it's possible to just get everything from them. Yes, that's true. All right. I already told you guys all that. As far as the YouTube content, it's still going to be YouTube Shorts, which are the clips from my workout. And that's going to be like publishing Monday through Friday. The long form videos are going to continue to rotate between reviews, training, motivational topics, and things like that. So that's not changing. All right. So now let's slide over to the last thing. So I didn't forget. So Jay said, you haven't said much about the new rack. Is it Freedom 3x3 or Communist 3x3? Okay. Oh boy. Let me tell you about the rack. All right. So to tell you about the rack, I got to go to somewhere. And that is Iron Bull Strength. So it's an Iron Bull Strength rack. And let me see. I'm pulling up the exact one I got. So you guys will see. You'll know exactly what I got. All right. So first of all, I had when I put up the thing showing, I had a YouTube short and I put it up, right? And I said, oh yeah, my rack has arrived. First of all, this is what the rack is right now. Okay. It's let's see here. Let me see. No, hold up. Hang on. No. Uploads for. Where is it? Okay, I don't have it on here. My bad. All right, I don't have it on here. I'm not going to go through all that. Anyway, so I posted on YouTube. It's basically just a palette, right? And so Eric Eccles said, "Hey, I didn't. I got you, Jared. All right. Eric Eccles said, I didn't know Iron Bull made home gym equipment. And Eric, that includes me. I was like, when they reached out to me, I was like, really? Who? It's like, what's that mean? Who? All right. So here's what I ended up getting. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so you guys can kind of see the build in real time, right? Boom. All right. So it's their PR2 rack builder, right? And can you guys see that? Is that big enough for you guys to see it? See on screen? If you are listening to the audio version on Podbean, just you got to go to YouTube and check out this episode, and you guys will be able to see the rack that I built. So I'm gonna assume. Okay, Joey said yeah. All right, cool. All right, so here's the deal. All right, so I got, we went with 90 inches for the rack height because we got 100 feet from the top of our stall mats to the bottom of our ceiling rafters. Got 100 inches. All right, so we got the rooms. I don't like those short power racks. We went with an inside depth, I believe, I think it was 36 inches on the inside depth. And let me see here. Hold up. Yeah, I can tell you right now. No, 30-inch depth. Okay, so let's change that. I had to just go look at the thing. All right, so 30-inch depth. All right, so 30-inch depth. It's red. Okay, so it looks like that. Then for the cross member, it is I got the 3x3 cross members. All right, and the arch nameplate cross member. So got this right there. So it looks like that. All right, and then for the safeties, we got the pin and pipe safeties. And for the pull-up bar, I believe we got the 3-inch cross member across the front. All right, and we did that on purpose. I'll talk about that in a second. We got spotter arms. We got a dip station. I don't think we got the extension feet. No, we did not get the extension feet. I'm kind of like always up in the air about whether to get extension feet or not. But a lot of it is because where my power rack sits is also the way that my mom walks out when she wants to go out to her car. And so I don't want her to trip over it, so I'd rather just, there's plate storage, so I feel like the plate storage will hold it down enough. It is 11 gauge steel, Jared. And it is 3x3, 11 gauge steel. Then we also got, because my wife has been mad because the rack that we have now didn't have, so the rack we had before, the rack, 2 racks ago, we had a landmine attachment. And 3 racks ago, we had a landmine attachment. And then the last rack, the one that's downstairs now, the Marcy rack, didn't have a landmine attachment. My wife was not pleased. So we got a landmine attachment on this one as well. So there's a landmine attachment. And we didn't do any of that. There's an option for the vertical bar holder, but we didn't do that. But we did include the multi-grip pull-up bar. So there you go. So that's why you see, like, we were able to put the front cross member was the pull-up bar, because the multi-grip pull-up bar in the center is where we're going to do like pull-ups and hangs and things like that. And then I can attach stuff to this front cross member, because the goal with this one of the things I'm trying to do is I want to try. I still haven't been able to use my bully glider. And so that's one of the things I'm looking forward to testing out with this is my bully glider, because you guys can see that there's not a functional trainer attachment. That's not even an option for this rack. So I'm looking forward to being able to use the bully glider with this thing. And then, so Carp said $1,400 doesn't look too bad. That's what I paid for a 4-post from Rogue. Yeah, and that's the thing. So when they told me about it, I was like, yeah, this looks a pretty good option. It is a Canadian company, so that may I don't know what that's going to do as far as shipping costs and things like that, but it was legit. So the total cost, let me see what this John looked at. Sorry, so the total cost here, let's go ahead and, all right, so the subtotal is $1,700. All right, so then you got to go shipping, taxes, and all that other kind of stuff. And that, it just depends on where you live and all that, right? But so that is what the basic build looks like for me. Now, the thing is that, so I told you guys already, I'm looking forward to being able to use the bully glider. I'm looking forward to being able to do landmine stuff with it. The downside is I'm having to give up all of my attachments just about to use this because this is my first 5/8 hole spacing rack. Every other rack I've had has been 1/8 hole spacing. Well, this one's 5/8 hole spacing. So, I can't use most of my attachments. There is one attachment that I have that I'll be able to use, and that is my Crandall Fitness monolift arms. And this time I won't have to use my adapter. So I have these adapters that I got from FNF Steel so that the Crandall Fitness monolift arms would work with my with all of my 1-inch hole racks. Well, now I've got a rack that's the same, that's 5/8, and that's what it was designed for. So I'm looking forward to using that. See how that goes. I am curious about how it performs. No. So Joey, my seal row pad is 1-inch. So that's one of my attachments I'm going to have to give up for the duration of this. So whenever I do any kind of brand deals or anything like that, or even if I'm shopping for myself, I go a 1-inch because I want to be able to use my my attachments. Some of these attachments, why does it matter? I've had some of these attachments like since 2018. Like my Garage Gym Life spotter arms, they have Garage Gym Life on them. They're special. They're custom made for me. I can't use. All right. So, yeah. You said you could send me. Well, aren't you using your seal row pad, Joey? If you're not, if you don't mind sending it to me, I'll send it back to you when I'm done doing the review. Because that is one of the things that I like to talk about is like, whenever I do review is like how this equipment from XYZ company, how it fits with products from other companies. So yeah, so I'm going to use the Crandall Fitness as one, but if you can send me your seal row pad, we can work it out. I'll hit you up and we can see if we can't work it out. I'd appreciate, that would make it a much better review. So here's okay. Eric said, go to Granite Fitness and get some 5/8 to 1-inch upright adapters. Okay, so these are adapters that will let me somehow use something that's a 1-inch post on a 5/8 hole. It's a reducer. What? So let's go there right now. Hold on, right now. Let's go to Granite Fitness. Granite Fitness system. I'm assuming 5/8 hole spacers. I don't see it. Where's it at? Hold on a second. I'm gonna share screen right here because maybe y'all see something I don't see. All right, so all right, I'm gonna pay. This is Test. All right, can you guys hear me now? All right, you guys should be able to hear me now. Can you hear me now? No, Kurt, I'm definitely not talking about how the Marines are actually not the men's department of the Navy.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
There we go. Yeah. So what I had to do, so the power went completely off here a second ago, right? And so I picked up my phone and I just jumped into the thing and I threw that comment on there from my phone. So for everybody who's watching on Facebook who didn't see my comment, the power just literally went out. All the lights went off. Everything was out, right? But we back. We back like bell bottoms are. All right. So what was I talking? Okay. So Granite Fitness. I apologize. Actually, I can't really apologize for that. I don't control the weather. But thank you for sticking with me. And yes, I saw all your slanderous comments while I was trying to get back on. My favorite was the one where you said no supervision. It's just us here. Y'all are worthless. Y'all are absolutely worthless. All right, Eric Echoes. I demand that you help me find this thing that you told me about that's on here. I see carabiners. I see posts. This is Granite Fitness. This is where you said to go, right? You said Granite. Go to Granite Fitness. And no, I did not dress up like a upright adapter. Okay, Eric said he DM'd me. I guess you DM'd me on Instagram. So let's go over there. Let's go to Instagram. Bam. All right. Oh, look at that. All right. All right. So share this tab instead. Power rack attachment. Okay. So this will adapt your uprights from 5/8 to 1 inch. Oh, yeah. Okay. I've seen stuff like this before. I know what you're talking about. So let's scroll down here and find out some information I need to know. So 11 gauge. So they're going to handle. All right. That's what I need to know. How much can they handle per side? 400 pounds per side. There we go. Eric Eccles. Well done. Well done. Shout out to Eric Eccles. That's what I'm talking about. Now I ain't mad. I don't have to go without my favorite toys. Yeah. Jay, come on, man. Talking about he pieced out. Y'all savages. Savages. There's savages out here. That's just all right. Okay, I'm gonna show you what the comments are. All right, so it's just us now. It's Joey, right? I plainly said I just lost power. Wait a second, right? But they don't care. They said, no, there's no supervision. Kurt with the slander. I bet he's dressed up like a butterfly right now. Unfortunately, Kurt, as I told you multiple times before, but apparently you ain't listened. This is a no butterfly zone. All right. So then let's see here. Jared said they canceled schools around him because of inclement weather. What is that? I don't even know what why did you even find so Jay found a butterfly or some sort of weird looking fairy emoji. Jay, you need to sanitize your dang hardware. You shouldn't hard drive. You shouldn't have that emoji. That shouldn't even exist. Kurt says we're closer to the weather situation. And here I am saying I'm getting back on the internet now. I was waiting for it to reboot. Okay. So Joey said the rain's heavy in his neck of the woods, but they had a drought. So yeah, so now he's got the risk of flooding. I got you. No, this is not related to AOL. Not at all. Not related at all. You know what it is related to? It's related to this. Completely. 100% related to.
It's the recliner of rage.
It's the recliner of rage, 'cause he's not happy.
And so I came back and then I didn't have audio. So what I had to do, I also had to reboot my microphone so that it would be back on. But anyway, so we are back. All right. There we go. All right. So yeah, it's like Michael Jordan. I was talking about Michael Jordan. It's like Michael Jordan in his prime. You ain't gonna stop him. All you gotta do, you just hope to contain him. Okay. All right. Yeah. So Eric, yeah, man, that's legit. Let me check this thing out again. So, and it's yet another item on the Shop app. Remember, I was talking about Shop Pay last week. So that means I can use my Shop Cash with it. We might be able to make something happen. I like that. All right, so that's the gist of it. Do you guys if you have any other questions about the rack, understand I still haven't taken it out of the crate yet. That's today and tomorrow's project, along with selling the rack I had before. I'm gonna put that up on Facebook Marketplace. It's still a good rack. It's just, I don't have room for 2 racks. So the Marcy rack has to go, and time for the Iron Bull Strength rack to come in. So let's see. Because of all the weirdness that happened with the weather, I did not get to say what's up to the West Coast. So good morning, welcome to the West Coast. Welcome to Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. We're getting ready to wrap the show up, but I appreciate you guys checking out our show. Thank you for being here. Before you go, if you've been watching the show for any length of time, please hit that like button for me. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Help me get to my goal of 50,000 subscribers. That is the biggest thing you could. It's free. It's free, and it would mean the world to me. All right. It doesn't cost you a thing. It literally costs you nothing. We are the best value out there. It's cost nothing to subscribe. If you want to become a channel member and get extra perks, it costs you less than $1. I mean, come on. All right. Where else can you get this level of entertainment and this much handsome at such a cost-effective price? And the answer is nowhere. Okay, nowhere else. All right. So last thing is we drove to DC for one day to do a product review, and okay, so we went to DC. This completely different. So we had a brand deal, and we had to go to DC to do it, right? And so that video is gonna be coming out soon, which is what I was doing in DC when I was walking in the rain. It's because we were up there doing that brand deal, right? That was a really good. I said that was a really good experience though, because it was the first time that a lot of people in my family got to see what I do, like what goes into the Garage Gym Life thing. Like they knew I created content. They knew about Garage Gym Life. They know, all right? Heck, when I first started my channel, I hit up most of them to get them to subscribe so that I could hit my threshold, because you got to have at least 100 subscribers in order to have a custom URL. So I hit up my family and I hit up the people from my last Marine Corps unit. And I said, all y'all, I don't care if you never go on YouTube again. Go on YouTube and start an account if you have to, and subscribe to my channel. So my family knew that I was doing Garage Gym Life, but they were able to, because of how it worked out. And you guys will see more about it when you watch the video when it publishes. But they were able to see what I do. But that was crazy because so I did the show last Friday, and my wife was working. So I did the show last Friday. Then that afternoon, we drove to DC. Okay. Actually, let me back up. We did the show. I did the show. Then I worked out because I was like, I'm not going to be able to get, all my lifting in because, normally I deadlift on Saturdays. All right. Well, I was going to be on the road. Right. So I said, all right, so let me deadlift. So I deadlifted, shot the intro, got in the car, headed to DC. Right. So it's a 10-hour drive, drove all the way up there. And then we got there probably like 8 o'clock in the morning, took a 2-hour nap, got up, shot the videos. It was a 3-location shoot. So we went to 3 different places to shoot. And then went back to my uncle's house. We were staying at my uncle's. Went back to my uncle's house, took another 2-hour nap. I got up, got my remaining 5,000 steps in, got in a car, drove 10 hours back down here, and got back here about 10 a.m. Sunday morning. And the plan was, and then I had to work Sunday night. So the plan was, I'm going to go to sleep, right? So I was like, I'll drive the last leg. That way I'll be tired. I'll be able to go to sleep, wake up, go to work. That's not what happened. Every Sunday, we run the live stream for our church. So technically, I live stream something every week. Besides, so I live stream the show, and then every Sunday, I run a live stream for our church, right? And it's essentially the same setup that it would be if I were doing like a competition and it's on somebody else's channel. You don't necessarily hear from me. You know, we just run it using their equipment. So it's the same kind of thing, right? But the person who was going to work in our stead, because we knew we were going to be traveling, had something come up and they didn't have a ride. So boom, one of us had to go. My wife wasn't feeling well. So that meant me, the one who just drove, had to go. And I mean, my wife drove the first leg, but like I said, I drove the last leg of it. So I had to go there, right? So I didn't actually get home to get to sleep until after 12 noon, right? Woke up at 3. So basically I took a nap. I took another nap. Woke up, had to go to work, and I worked 12 hours. Got home, got back to home, and I finally got some sleep, slept about 7 hours, woke up, bench press. And because I needed to make sure I got enough sleep, I actually slept a little bit longer. So I didn't even get to do my full bench workout, but I benched. And it was triples week last week. So I hit my triples and bench, back to work, 12 hours again. So that was that was my weekend last weekend. It was crazy, but it was so rewarding. Got to eat some good food. We packed, I was telling my oldest son about the weekend. He said, it sounds like you packed a week's worth of stuff into basically 8 hours. I was like, yeah, into a 24-hour period, right? So yeah. Let's see. Let's clean up some of the stuff we have here in the live chat before we get out of here. So Jay says I shouldn't be persuaded to avoid 5/8. Jared has a 5/8 rack, and he said there's no issues with that. Joey says some brands have higher end finishes on their 1-inch attachments, but there's pretty much parity these days. Yes. Joey says he likes the look of the 1-inch holes in the hardware. I agree. That's the big thing for me. And also a lot of it too is because when I was coming up, you know, like my first home gym, I got my first power rack in 2002. Okay. So I've had multiple power racks since then, but you got to think about it like that's what I was used to. And I worked at a public gym before that. We had a power rack there. So that was a 1-inch hole spacing. When I started working out in 1993 at my college, the racks that they had there, 1-inch hole spacing. So that's what I was accustomed to. And so that just is what looks normal to me. But, you know, I'm excited to try the 5/8 hole spacing on the Iron Bull rack. It says, Jay said, I thought 5/8 didn't come in line with UHM. No, that's not. No, Belzer still has a lot of 5/8 stuff, and they got a UHMW. It's technically probably not UHMW. It's probably HDPE, but yeah, same thing. So yeah, but that exchange right there that I was just looking at for the live chat is again why I said we got like probably I would say over 100 years of home gym experience combined with all of the people in the live chat on this show. So if you're watching on the replay and you have a question, hey, stop by every Friday morning starting at 6 a.m. Wake up way too early, 6 a.m. Eastern time. And if you have a question about anything, even if it's not really related to the topic we're talking about, throw it in the live chat and somebody in the live chat will be able to help you out with the answer to your question. If I can't, or whoever happens to be my guest can't. So now we got coming up. So that's it for today's show. Next week, got fresh batch of guests. Let me tell you guys what's coming up there. Get my theme going. So, a little bit. All right, so next week coming up, we've got Ashton from Freedom Fitness. We got he's going to be coming. He's going to be talking about actually the process of setting up a home gym, and we're going to go through like the process of setting up a home gym. He's going to guide you through the builds and what he looks for and that kind of thing. So that'll be I think pretty interesting for you guys. Dennis Solis is going to be coming on. He's going to be talking about portable AC units and whether they are a good fit for your home gym. Plus, you know, a whole lot more. And as always, we're going to have a good time. I'm sure I'll be mad about something else. So we'll have a brand new recliner of rage that day as well. So make sure that you guys are following at Garage Gym Life on Threads, because that's where I'll give you guys the latest information about what's happening on the channel, all the background stuff, just random things. So make sure you are following us on there as well. Anyway, I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you so much. Couldn't have done this show without you. I appreciate it. You guys are really the fuel for the fire. And I'm going to keep going because you guys inspire me to keep going. Remember to, until next week, keep on stacking days.